Are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, you got a big heat wave happening over there in Europe. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have, speaking about weather and things of this nature, we have Venezuelan earthquakes that were pretty devastating. And there were also other earthquakes around the world. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Staying on a topic of weather and things related to it, we have a freeze of sorts, a rent freeze in New York City. If you have a rent stabilized property, you're not allowed to raise your rent for the next couple of years. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we still have the World Cup going on. That's going to be a big thing people are talking about for a long time, because people are able to see just how friendly Americans are, just how fun it is to be over here. And of course, the main thing is they're going to see how we have AC and how it's nice and cool and crisp where it should be, rather than 100 degrees wherever they are over in Europe. And there's quite a few more things on the list we got to get to. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all. So this is what I'm gonna do from here on out. The streams will be Saturday, no Wednesday, Saturday. That's pretty much what I'm looking at right now. I think that'd be the best way going forward. And I got a lot more content coming for you guys that's a little bit different than what I have been doing for a long time. I think people are prepared for it. People are ready for a new thing. They're ready for something else. So that's what I'll be doing. More IRL content, things of that nature. I've been kind of testing it, and it's been doing pretty good on other platforms. So I will bring that here to YouTube as well. And I have faceless channels that I do that you're never even going to know, but I do that as well. But for the streams, Saturday, look for the Saturday stream. And that's pretty much what's going on. All right. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all again for being here. And we got a whole lot happening. Shout out to the Europeans. Do I have any Europeans in the audience? Is there anybody from Europe here? Because what's going on with your AC situation? Can we get that resolved? Can we get that fixed? I mean, why is it a thing? I understand that it doesn't get hot often in Europe. It might be just a few days where you got it really bad. It's just like living in the South. I think somebody made that comparison. They said a heat wave in Europe is like having a snowstorm in Florida. Okay, you're probably not ready for it. But at a certain point, if it has snowed in Florida every year for 20 years, I'm not saying it has, but I'm just, follow me. If it was not a thing, then it becomes a thing. You got to adjust. And even in a place where there's no snow, or there usually is not any snow, there should still be some kind of infrastructure prepared to deal with it. Just like what happened in Texas during the ice storm. Okay, I know it's Texas. You don't get snow and whatnot often. I understand. It's a pretty hot place. And once you get further out west, it gets even hotter because you're in the desert. But have a little bit of salt on hand, perhaps, when it gets cold. Have a truck that can do some things. Have something that you can use to be ready. And in the case of somewhere where it doesn't really snow, having that level of infrastructure is much different than having AC. They don't have AC in hospitals. It's like, okay, a hospital, you need AC in a hospital, because what happens when the temperature gets too hot? Like, what are you going to do? If somebody's in there with some basic ailment and they're in this room that's 100 degrees, I mean, if they don't die from whatever the ailment is, they're going to die from the heat stroke. So, like, what's going on? Hey, Europeans, please, oh, please, I beg you, get some AC Get it cracking, get it rocking and rolling. I saw a guy driving the bus right in Europe. He's driving the bus, he crashes, passes out because he has heat stroke. I'm seeing them fight like it's Black Friday for the AC units to put into their homes. In other parts of the world, it's not really a thing. China, they're going to have AC. Now, of course, in China, you're going to have a climate that can be a lot warmer than most of Europe will be. But still, I mean, come on. Russia, do you guys have AC? I would presume maybe not because it's a cold place. I know all of Russia is not Siberia, but all of Russia is above like the 50th parallel. So you kind of up there. I think the only thing below the 50th parallel is like stuff that's close to North Korea, you know, that the little panhandle kind of thing over there, whatever you call it, little. And then like once you get closer to like Dagestan, you know, like over there, Armenia, it's a little bit further south. But beyond that, Moscow, St. Petersburg, all of that, you're up far north. So I understand them. But if you're living in Italy, you're living in Greece, you're living in somewhere like that, you got to have AC because it will be hot. And that heat, man, is nothing you could do. I put a statistic out there. People don't believe it. Every year, I'm not sure how many years it's been, but it's been a while, which is why it's going to be an issue. Every year, more Europeans die from a lack of air conditioning, heat stroke, than Americans die from gun violence. I say that one more time. Every year, more Europeans die from heat stroke, lack of air conditioning, than Americans die from gun violence. That's a pretty crazy statistic. And you would think, you know what? It's been a while since we've had this issue. Let's go ahead and solve it. But for some reason, they just don't want to do it. It is what it is. But yeah, shout out to the Europeans. Hopefully you guys are able to fix your air conditioning issue. Maybe we can send them a pallet of those, a pallet of ACs, a window unit at best. See, over in our neck of the woods in the USA, many of us have central air conditioning, okay? We could just go to this little module on the wall, push a few buttons, and then we have AC. We got vents that come straight through the vents. And we're good that way. But a window unit will be just fine. We had those back in the day. And some people still have window units. If it works, it works. It really don't even matter. If you put a unit in the house and it's cool on a hot summer day, I get it. But I also understand some parts of Europe, you really don't need it. Hey, come down south. Come down to Georgia. Hey, I was telling somebody before, the heat that you're going to feel down south in the United States is just something else. Being from Virginia, being outside there is different than being outside in Georgia. And in Virginia, it'll get hot, but the sun gives you a little bit of breather room. The sun is like right here, like off the side of your face. It's not quite, but once you get to Georgia, it's right there. It's like a claw suffocating you. There's nothing you could do. And you're inland. It ain't no ocean breeze or nothing. You're just getting straight heat. And then go out west where you got the desert. Forget about it. You're rotisserie chicken. You got to have air conditioning. I was reading where they say in Iraq, where you have U.S. troops over there, if one of their vehicles, a Humvee or something like this, got like if the AC in the vehicle was out of commission, the whole vehicle was out of commission. It didn't matter because it's impossible. It's 115 degrees in the desert and you have no AC. You'll probably die inside the vehicle from heat stroke before you get shot and killed on the battlefield. So yeah, you got to have that. But yeah, shout out to the Europeans. Hopefully everything's okay. I'm seeing you guys jump from bridges, sleeping outside. You're going through a lot of different things just to make sure that you're cool. But hopefully it's all good. You know, I could send you a nice ice cold Kirkland water. If I could, I would. I'd get it straight to you. But hey, I can't really do that right now. JV says it's 120 in Tucson. That's crazy. Hold on. I'm reading some of the other comments here. I'm gonna tell your name up and I'm sorry. Rosina says in Arizona, we have central AC and swamp coolers. Hey, gotta have it. Got to have it. All right, hold on. Eternal Spring says, I had no AC in the Hummer in 2003. They put armor and AC on later, and they blew engines with the weight. Hey, I can imagine all that stuff on it. Yeah, it's not designed. It's already big, so you pushing the engine to the limit. Then you put armor and the AC. It's like, come on, man. What am I towing? Am I towing a house? Like, what's happening? But yeah. Oh, the coconut water, of course. Coconut water, yeah, you gotta have that. That's definitely refreshing. Coconut water is like eating watermelon because you're getting hydrated differently. Being hydrated from eating fruit, that's definitely top notch. And speaking of fruit, I'm gonna go to the farmer's market tomorrow, get some fresh fruit, some fresh eggs. I've been hearing about fresh eggs. I've not had any eggs from the farm that I know of. I might have gone to a restaurant and it was a fancy spot and they had some fresh eggs from a farmer, local farmer, but I had no idea. I just go to the store and get whatever they got. And I like to do the easy, the pre-made, the pre-hard boiled eggs. That's the kind of eggs I get. But I'm gonna get some fresh from the farmer's eggs, and I'm gonna get some of that good fruit. If I can get me a good watermelon, a mango, something like that, some kind of refreshing fruit. Fresh coconut would be good, but I've not seen any coconut trees out here. Shout out to Kamala Harris. I've not seen coconut trees in East Tennessee, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I don't know where they are. But if they got them, I'm going to get it for sure. Mango juice all day. Absolutely. Farm eggs are way better. Way, way better. Okay. So I got to get that, huh? I got to get that. Serial Killer says, and I'm saying serial killer, but it's not spelled like that. It's spelled like cereal, like you eat. But anyway, Serial Killer says Texas prisons don't have air conditioning. Your boy, look, man, I ain't even really read that. Hey, lucky you ain't get blocked. Any kind of comment like that, you're lucky you don't get blocked. But yeah, there are some prisons in Texas that have AC, and I think the guy you talking about is in one of those prisons. You trying to be funny? How did that work? Okay, Jeff Walsh, I don't know what you're talking about. Red Joker says it's got a cantaloupe yesterday. Shout out to the cantaloupe. Definitely a good fruit. Yeah, cantaloupe, watermelon, all of those kind of hydrating fruits are very good. Zephyr says, if I want eggs, my sis gives them to me. I also get fresh meat raised and harvested, same as wild game. Well, there you go. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. So who is Shaquille Oatmeal? Is that Jeff Walsh? Who is Shaquille Oatmeal? Y'all let me know. I ain't seen him in a while. Virtual AI says, I am with Jerry. Ice cream is awesome. Wynette says, my husband bought farm fresh eggs and they were rotten. Oh my goodness. That's not good. Hey, yeah, that's no good. That's no good at all. I'm gonna need the farm fresh eggs to be fresh, not to be rotten. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. But yeah, Europeans, please buy AC. A little window unit. Hey, just use it whenever you need to use it. Most of the year, it'll probably just be in the corner collecting dust, but you're going to need it sometimes. It's just like my garage. There's some tools in there that don't get used that often. Okay, they don't get used that often. I had a plumbing issue, and I had this real big auger. The auger is like, the auger might have been, I feel like it's about 4 foot tall. It was big. It was crazy. But I'm at Home Depot. I'm like, okay, let me get the ultimate tool to do this job. And it got her done. I got all the way in there with the auger. But I'm not going to use the auger every day. But I have it if I need it. If there's any kind of issue that comes up, the auger will be there. All right. Hold on. John Doe says, put eggs in a deep container of water. If they float, they're no good. Okay, there we go. That'll be my test. Right when I get back to the house from the market, throw them in the water. And then I'm going to see what's wet. Okay, and if they float, they're no good. All right, there we go. Jerry says 3 days a year when it's hot in Europe. Hey, them 3 days are, if you're going through them 3 days of 100-degree temperatures, you're going to wish you had an AC. You might not have those days, but you might have them, and now you got an issue. Now, the reflecting pool, let's talk about that right quick, because I see a comment right there from the Daily Developer. The reflecting pool, I don't know. Like, I don't think that the pool will be ever perfect because it's just, you got science at play. you have nature at play. There's a lot of different things. So watch this. First, you have the water source from the Potomac River. That's the water source. You're not getting water from the tap that's filtered and all that. You're getting straight river water. So whatever's in the river, you're going to have in the pool. So all kind of organic matter, all kind of everything is going to be in there. You can stream it, I suppose, but you're going to have microorganisms, all of that is going to be in the water from the jump. So you're going to have algae like preset in the water. And even if you didn't have it in the water, well, I forget what they said. I forgot what kind of material that they say is going to amplify the algae, but that's already in the Potomac. Even if not for that, you're going to have still organic matter introduced to the pool. You're going to have birds and their droppings and whatever they got on them. You're going to have the sun, the air, bringing spores to the water. And you're going to have algae bloom that way. Now, if you have the regular tap filtered water, you're going to have fewer algae spores. But regardless of what you do, you're going to have some algae spores. And then on top of that, you got the vandals. Now, I'm not really sure what role the vandals play in the algae blooming. The vandals, what they did was cut up the bottom. Now, I thought it was just painted. Well, the bottom has a hard plastic surface. The blue, that's a hard plastic surface that was installed by the people. And someone or some people took knives and they cut that up. Like straight up vandalism. There's been some arrests. We'll get to that a little bit later. And now the pool is fenced off. I think they're getting ready for 4th of July. Maybe they'll launch something right there. I'm not really sure. But yeah, the reflecting pool, I mean, it's only so much you can do with that. You're going to have some level of algae because you got the sun, you got the shallow pool, and you got the water source, plus the air. I mean, and you're going to have people at a certain point introduce pollutants to it because you're not going to be able to have the National Guard down there watching that 24/7. That's not really going to be a thing. And even if you could have National Guard prevent humans from going down there, what about the animals? What about the wildlife? That's still going to exist. Birds are still going to fly. A fence cannot keep out a duck or any other bird that's going to be able to potentially deposit organic matter into the pool. So, but to me, it's not really a big deal. It's become a big deal because, you know, the news media, they're going to take a story like that and run with it. Hey, this pool is not, it's not reflecting. So that's going to be a problem. I don't really care. It's not really a big deal to me. My thing is, can we get this whole Iran kerfuffle wrapped up? Can we get the Iran kerfuffle wrapped up, put the bow on top, and let's move on? Reflecting pool, if it looks nice and beautiful and pretty, that's fine. If not, then hey, man, it is what it is. And Obama tried the same thing in 2012. Obama is the one who introduced the Potomac as the water source back then. Before that, there were still algae problems, but I'm not quite sure to what extent. And the reason why they changed it to the Potomac was because it was a cost-cutting measure. Because obviously, you're trying to fill a pool up with filtered water, with like tap water, that's going to be expensive. Because the reflecting pool is as tall as a skyscraper. It's very shallow, obviously. You could pretty much walk in the water. It's not a deep pool, but it's a lot of water, tall as a skyscraper. So what are you going to do? Hey, speaking about skyscrapers, did you guys see the Temu 911 in China? Did you guys see that? So there was a small plane that hit a skyscraper in, I believe, Beijing, somewhere in China. I believe it was Beijing. Now, people are making the stupidest, I don't want to say stupidest, that's incorrect anyway, grammatically. People are trying to be funny talking about, oh, it didn't collapse. First of all, it got hit by like a very, very small plane, nowhere near the level of the big Boeing or whatever that was hit the tower in 9/11. Now, I am a conspiracy theorist to a certain extent. Yes, I am. Okay, I got a tinfoil hat. Like this hat has tinfoil underneath. So I'm a tinfoil hat wearer, but not to the fullest extent. You're not going to see my tinfoil hat openly, but I do have a tinfoil hat. I'm of the thought process that there was some stuff going on with 9/11 we don't know about that was not told to us. I don't know all the ins and outs and the particulars, but the story that the plane hit the building and all the towers fell, including the one that was not hit by the plane, I'm not really buying that. I'm not buying that. However, to compare that to the Beijing, the T-9/11, no way. You're talking about this gigantic building that got hit by like a prop plane. I mean, it might as well have been a drone or something like that. Not even a drone, less than a drone. And drones can do a lot of damage, but not that much damage. And in this case, there was only like 2 windows busted out. So yeah, not really a big deal at all. But of course, that may be in the news, or some may see that as like 9/11. It wasn't that. It was just, I don't know how that happened though. I felt like it was staged, because how are you going to miss a tower? Why are you flying that low in the plane? Was there a mechanical issue? What happened? That's what I want to know. That's what I would like to know for sure. Okay, now Jeff, we're gonna have to bang you now. Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a timeout because I'm feeling nice today. I'm feeling nice. I'm gonna put you on timeout for a little while. You come back saying the same thing, I'm gonna bang you. Anyway, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Now, the New York City rent freeze. Do you guys or do we have any New York City residents, any New York area, tri-state residents in the building? So Zohran Mamdani has announced that there's going to be a rent freeze. Now, I had no idea what a rent freeze was really for a long time. I didn't know that was really a thing. I've never heard about that happening anywhere other than New York. This is where they just don't allow landlords to raise their rent on their units. In this case, it's only going to apply to rent stabilized units, which is not all apartments. It's a handful. Zohran said you have 2 million people that live in these kind of units in New York City, but you got like 25 million in the area. So obviously this does not impact all units. It impacts some, but it's going to be for like 2 years. They said that any lease starting October the 1st through October the 1st, 26 through September 30th of 27, all those leases signed, you're not able to raise the rent after leases being signed for like a year or two. And it might go on for longer than that because they're going to vote on it every year. So you might be stuck having to charge the same rent for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Some of you guys said it. If it's me, I'm going to sell the property now before the rent freeze hits in October. I'm going to sell it right now. Right now. And anybody that has a new lease, I'm not going to renew it. I'm not renewing anything because I don't want to have to be paying somebody to live in my apartment. Now, it might not be that bad. It might not be that bad at first because maybe some landlords did not plan on raising their rent this year. Maybe they were going to maybe they already raised it last year. Maybe they weren't going to raise it this year. So it might not be that bad, but how long can that go on where you cannot raise your rent? A year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? How long can that go on? Next month in New York City, they're going to raise water by 6%. Your water bill, I suppose, what they charge for water by 6%, and property taxes by 14 to 15%. Property taxes will raise 14 or 15% in July. And today is June 27th. So you're talking about just a few days. When is it? July 1st? Wednesday. Not even the full week from now. Not even the full week from now, they're going to raise property taxes. So why does it make sense for me to not raise rent when you got stuff like that going on? People think that landlords have endless money. Maybe they do. But if I am losing money on the property that I'm renting, why am I renting it? I might as well keep it to myself. Sell it, give it to somebody else. Hey, you could do with it. Hey, private equity, BlackRock, whatever you want this house, go ahead, take it. Go ahead, take it because I'm not going to work for free. I'll take my investment out. I'll go do something else. I'll golf and fish and hunt for the rest of my life rather than working for free. I couldn't be a landlord. Shout out to all the landlords out there. You guys are doing the Lord's work. I could never. I could never, because what I don't want is a bad tenant. That's going to be worse than anything. I'm talking about that's got to be the absolute worst. You think you got a good tenant to take care of your home and everything's going to be okay. You give him the keys, and when you give him the keys, the house is pristine or the apartment is pristine. It's renovated. You got LVT on the ground. You got LVP. You got brand new LVP. You got brand new appliances. You got everything. It's beautiful. It's just immaculate. When you come back to it, you got garbage everywhere. You have a rodent infestation. You have plumbing that has been totally neglected. It didn't call you for anything. Okay, their son done put all the Legos and Power Rangers and everything else in the toilet and left it there. It's a mess. Hey, and then some of y'all with the cleanliness, some of y'all just put food on the ground, and you get done eating a bag of chips, and rather than taking the empty bag or the halfway empty bag to the trash can, you put it on the ground. Under your couch right now could be bags of chips. I would never. If that's going on in my house, I would be totally just. And here's the thing though, you know how that could happen, because people come to my house and say, "Oh, your house is so clean. It's so beautiful in here." I mean, it looks all right. It looks okay. Okay, I keep my house clean, yes, but I've seen better. And I don't want to see worse by having the tenant go to my house and destroy it. If I was to get into real estate more than what I am right now, I would just buy and sell. Hey, here's a house. Give me X amount of money for it. I put X into it. I'm going to sell it for X. I profit off the difference. And whatever you want to do is fine. If you want to become a hoarder, if you want to be 800 pounds in here, that's your business. But I'm not going to be responsible for this home after we sell it. We got an inspection. Everything's good. We made sure that there's no funny business going on. Your home is as advertised. Once you make the transaction, you got it. Take it from here. I don't want to have to come rescue some 800-pound person from their couch in my house where you got all kind of cats running amok. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Exactly. Out of the mud ministry. We're not renting out property. I'm not renting out nothing. Nope. If you want to buy my house, like if I have it on the market, if I purchase a house, I fix it up, you can buy it from me, sure. But I'm not going to rent it. Quit Watch said rent the house with the maid service. See, I don't even want to do that, because that is an issue as well. And then also with rent, here's something else though. Now we got an issue with squatters. Oh my goodness, the squatters. I've covered quite a few of those stories with the squatters. Okay, so you rent the house to somebody, you got the maid service and everything, you got the lawn care service and the whole shebang, right? All of a sudden, Mr. or Mrs. Bad Renter decides to stop paying rent, and they decide to not leave when you tell them that you got to get out. The eviction, they're not trying to hear that. Now we got a whole big court case that could take years. And you really, at that point, are paying them to live there, because let's say, for instance, you have a mortgage, which you probably would on a place. If you rent, you probably have a mortgage. I would not put all my cash into the rental property. But anyway, you could though. But let's say you got a mortgage. While they're not paying rent and while they're living there, you still got to keep the mortgage up. And they're not paying bills. I mean, can you cut the water off? Is that legal? Now you got to go to court. Now you got to spend money on lawyers. So you're paying them to live there, and you spending money on the court process. And the whole time it destroying your house. Damn, that thing cooking meth. It was a fire. Ain't no way. The way to get out of that is sell the house, because at that point they have to quit. The house has been sold. They can't maintain residence in the house that has been sold. I think there's no squatter law that permits that. But you could have just done that from the beginning and sold the house and had wash your hands and you wouldn't have any of the extra drama or stress on your back. It's simple. Hold on. I see a comment. Zephyr K9 says, takes forever to get squatters out in a lot of states. Some states you can just go take care of business. Yeah, some states you gotta. I saw one video I saw. There was a squatter remover. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that. But it was a squatter remover. And what this person would do is move in and become a bad roommate to the point where he, matter of fact, I have it right here. I'll play a little bit later. But what the guy would do is he would move into the house and he would bring guns. Like if you were on parole, which a lot of the squatters were, you're dealing with criminals a lot of the time. Most of the time dealing with criminals. On parole, they don't want to be back on the street. They don't want to go to jail. Anyway, if you move in and you have guns on you, you possess guns, all you got to do is call the police and say, hey, this person's on parole in the house with a guy who has guns. So the police at that point will come get them and take them to jail. But if you just say, I got a squatter, that is a civil violation in some states like California, and the police cannot intervene. You see how that works? But I don't even want to go through all of that. I'm not trying to move into your roach motel that you've converted it into with guns, put myself in danger to get you out. But that does work from what I've been able to see. Okay. That most certainly does work. Todd says the sheriff had one job and one time to flex. And if they don't, yeah, we sitting outside all day. Hey, Zealand says they can't pass a background check. Landlords won't accept them, and they shouldn't accept them. They shouldn't accept them because they do stuff like that. They do stuff like that. You know, I would say to anybody that's like that, anybody that, you know, hey, man, you better figure something else out and construct a house of your own, buy your own house, rather than trying to rent somebody else's. Buy your own house or do something for yourself. That's what I would say. All right. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. You guys are having some crazy thoughts in the chat. All right, let's keep going here. Now, what else we got going on? But yeah, Zohran Mamdani, the rent freeze, the communism, socialism, it doesn't really work. It's been tried over and over again. Communism, socialism, it's been tried and tried and tried. It doesn't work. Now, we got earthquakes happening in Venezuela and all over the world, really. I think there was an earthquake in Japan, but the most devastating one was in Venezuela. I put that short out of the guy going down the staircase, and it kept getting worse and worse as he kept going down. Venezuela, I suppose, is like Haiti in a sense of their homes. It's a lot of concrete without much rebar, or just concrete homes in general that are more likely to collapse in an earthquake. That's what happened here. When I first saw the story, when it first broke, it was like 170 something people that were dead, but now it's like over 200. And I'm sure it'll rise. It might be 300, 400 now. I'm not really sure. But there's so many thousands missing, and many of them are going to be presumed dead. But they got to go dig through the rubble, find people, you know, family got to confirm deaths or whatever. So the death toll, unfortunately, might rise quite a bit. And it was like right on the northern part of Venezuela, right by Caracas, the capital. So hopefully, to everybody in Venezuela, if you got people in Venezuela and your family members, friends in Venezuela, prayers out to them. Hopefully everyone is accounted for that, you know. But yeah, really devastating. And the severity of the damage. I'm talking about you got whole buildings that just collapse. Just totally collapse. Because you're not dealing with buildings that are that strong. You're dealing with it's just concrete. It you know, just kind of build it and hopefully it would stay up. But a lot of these places don't stay up and they collapsed during an earthquake. But yeah, pretty rough. So Humongous Shift says 1,500 dead, 69,000 missing. Whew. That's crazy. That's something else. Yeah, that's quite a bit. So is it that high right now? 1,400. I'm seeing Jennifer says 1,000. Humongous Shift says 1,500. Jennifer says 1,400. So that's right around that same number. That's rough. JV says the worst video I saw was a person headed down a flight of stairs, 15 floors. Yeah, I put that on my short, where it kept getting worse and worse as he went down the steps. I did see the guys on the boat who watched it. Yeah, they were out in the water looking at the shore, and then they could see everything happening. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough. So that's a lot. You're talking about a level of like the Haiti earthquake, because it was the same situation. You have a city that's packed right on the coast, Port-au-Prince, and the buildings built the same kind of way, concrete, no rebar, really just kind of constructed. And then when the earthquake hit, they had nowhere to go because the building would just collapse right on top of them. You can't even really escape. There's no warning. It just happens. And now you're trapped in wherever you are. And by the way, did you guys get any tornadoes here in the USA? We have tornado warning here in East Tennessee, North Georgia. We have tornado warning a few days ago. What was that? Was that Monday we had that? Yeah, I think that was Monday we had that. Yeah, that was pretty serious, but that was just a swift moving storm. And it just, we're in a new tornado alley here in the South. Parts of Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, parts of these places are in tornado alley now. Previously, tornadoes were mostly Oklahoma, all of that. That was, but now you still have them there, of course, because you got flat open area, but now it's moving to the east. You having a lot more in this neck of the woods. But luckily, no problems over here. It's okay. I didn't have any issues, but of course, some people were not as fortunate. So yeah, a lot of crazy weather happening. You got tornadoes, earthquakes, the heat wave out there in Europe. And shout out to the Europeans again. Please give some AC. All right. James says, read that UK making people remove AC units because of green environmental concerns. Look like mini split systems. Crazy. Yeah, I've seen that. And I've seen where you would have neighbors ratting on you if you have an AC unit. You got an air con in your window. They're going to tell on you. It's like, is it that serious? I can't believe it's that serious to tell on someone for just having an AC unit. Like, and you're not doing anything to protect the environment. It's just an electric device. I don't understand. Your electric vehicle is much more harmful to the environment than your gas-powered vehicle and your AC. But still, people are saying the EVs are great for the environment. They may have zero carbon emission, but how much carbon had to get emitted to produce it? And how about those batteries? What is the process for finding the rare earth minerals to go into that battery to make it work? The lithium ion battery. A dirty process. The whole process of green energy is filthy. Windmills, solar panels, EVs are very environmentally destructive. The only reason why those are being pushed is because they want to remove the reliance on oil for geopolitical reasons, in my humble opinion. I don't think there's going to be an ending to the supply of oil anytime soon. They say it is. They've been saying that for forever. They keep pumping it. And it ain't okay. I don't think we're going to run out of oil. I think we're going to be just fine with the oil. But they want to remove dependence on oil completely by having these electric vehicles. But the problem is the technology is not there yet. These things are blowing up. And when they blow up, they cause a catastrophe. As I've said before, these EVs can burn with a fierce intensity underwater. Underwater, they can burn with an intensity beyond anything you've really seen. So yeah, you don't want that kind of thing in your garage. And on top of that, you go to a charging station, you take in forever. You might as well go watch a movie. Hey, there needs to be a charging station. You can just go watch a movie in a theater. You can go watch, what's a long movie? You can go watch the entire Matrix trilogy and the one that came out. What was it? Was it 3? I think it was 3 that came out. And then it was the last one, which should have never, ever come out. Oh man, the last Matrix was so bad. Neo looking like, I don't know how they had Neo looking. Neo looking crazy. He looking like, Anyway, you could watch all the Matrix movies and then you come out and you be finished charging. I got my gas powered vehicle. I park it, put the pump in there, automatic, go in the store, get me a vitamin water, pack of gum, bag of chips, and I'm done. And until they can get it like that, I'm out. I don't want to do with it. And definitely not the Chinese EVs. Oh my goodness, those are the absolute worst. If I'm gonna get an EV, it'd be a Tesla or something like that. But now if I get a Tesla, it's like, okay, now you questioning my sexuality. It's like, what's going on with ABL? You got a Tesla? Is he okay? How you go from an F-150 to a Tesla? Like, what's going on with that? And if you got a Tesla, I'm just playing. It's just jokes. Don't get offended. But yeah, shout out to the EVs. If you got it, if you like it, I love it, but just not for me. It's not for me. But what else I got going on? Did I get everything I wanted to get to? Oh, yeah, the World Cup. So have you guys been to any of the World Cup events? Any you guys been to World Cup games? I've not been to a game. I regret not getting a ticket and going, but I did go to the fan event they have here in Atlanta. I'm going to go back too because they got it for a while. But hopefully the next time I go, it's not hot. Like when I went this past Sunday, it was hot. But it was like maybe like 88, 89. But this week, it's talking about 99 degrees. And if you ever experience that kind of heat down south, it's like, I can't even describe it. It's just too much. You're going to sweat immediately. Instantly, you're going to sweat right away. And you might be drenched in sweat. Like, oh man. And it's like, if you were on the beach, it wouldn't be that bad. You could get in the water. You get in the pool, get in the water, cool off. But you just out in in downtown Atlanta in concrete. Oh man, it's bad. The heat is heating. It's real bad. But the event is cool. A lot of good people from all over the world. They're very nice, very respectful. It don't matter what country, what race, everybody's real respectful. I was on the MARTA, the train they got, and they were on there deep from all over the world. Everybody's cool. Soccer fans, or when I say football, they're a different breed. They're really proud of their nation. I saw people out there with an Iranian, like the real Iranian flag, not the IRGC, but the real Iranian flag with the lion on it. They were out there with that. A lot of that kind of stuff going on. Really good people. Have you guys been to any of the World Cup events, the fan event, or a game itself? Next time, I'm going to a game. I think in 2028, they're going to have it in Spain. I'll go to Spain. Hey, I'm going to go to Spain. Not 2028, or 2032. They're going to have it in Spain. I'll go to Spain or UK or whatever. Hopefully they got AC by that time. Hey, Spain, I'm going to come to the World Cup when they have it out there, but you got to have AC. I know Spain is a southern kind of place, relatively speaking, compared to the rest of Europe. So you guys should have AC already outfitted. Because I tell you what, if you guys got these stadiums where it's like 1,000 degrees and it's just no way to shade yourself, it's just open, direct sun, I can't do nothing with it. I can't do nothing with it. Thick heat, yeah, the heat is real thick. It's just like oppressive, all in your face. The humidity is like an entity in itself. The humidity is like, I don't know. It's like get hit with a spirit. I don't want that. But it's even worse when you are in a desert, because you're gonna want that moisture to have something to grab onto. The moisture is like your last piece of hope. When that moisture goes away, you're about to die. I don't like that near-death experience type of feeling in that desert heat. Hey, 115 degrees, 120 degrees. Your body is not meant to do that. That's a natural boundary that God set up. It's like, okay, this area over here, you can't go over there because you're not going, you need water, basic fundamental water. There won't be an ounce of water anywhere to be seen. Shout out to all the nomadic tribes in Northern Africa, the Berbers, the Moroccans, all these people. I don't know how y'all do it. Living in a place where there's no water, no moisture, no humidity. I can't do it. Wynette says anything of 75 degrees is hot to me. I messed around and went to Universal Studios, Daytona Beach in Florida. Oh my goodness. And Disney in July and burned the H up. It was the AC house to the AC car to AC events. Too hot. Hey, I don't blame you for having a hard time out there in Florida. Yeah. Florida in July, it's like that. And Florida, that's the home of humidity. It ain't nothing but humidity out there. You're talking about swamps and mosquitoes and alligators and everything else. Yeah. Hey, whenever I go to Miami, I go to Miami in the summertime or anytime really, but definitely summertime, spring, fall, but summertime especially. Hey, in the airport, air conditioning is beautiful. On the plane, air conditioning, pressurized cabin is beautiful. Once you get off the plane and once you get out of the airport, you're going to be hit with the humidity. The spirit will just be all up on you immediately, instantly. Yeah, that's pretty rough. All right. Humidity is rough, JV. That's right. Absolutely. Zealand Zen says changing the World Cup to winter or early spring was all the problem. Well, the players got to be able to be comfortable. I don't think they want to be out there playing in the wintertime or like it's football. Yeah, they probably won't want to do that because the soccer guys not like our NFL football players. These guys are not wearing pads and helmets and all of that. So they want a warm environment, but not oppressively hot. And yeah, the cold or cool, they can't. I would think they probably wouldn't want to do that. Eric says, I was born in Miami. I don't remember many days under 80. Yeah, because you're so far south. You're like tropical. You're basically part of the Caribbean. And the Caribbean is like that. Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti, Trinidad, all these places is going to be warm all year long or hot. It's either going to be warm or hot and nothing else. Once you're in that equator area and that kind of environment, that's the way it is. The only way it wouldn't be like that in an environment near the equator is if you got like a body of water. Like if you go to Africa, you go to Uganda, you got what's that, Lake Victoria, you get that lake effect when some of that coolness from the lake. But if it was not for that lake and you're just kind of inland, it's different. If you have islands where it's water all around it, but it's not fresh water, it's different. Mike A says, imagine being Mickey Mouse in Disney World in August. Oh my goodness. I couldn't. You got to put on that suit. That suit going to be funky on the inside. My. It's going to be hot. It's going to stink. Like I was watching a video about the guy who played Barney, black guy, by the way. Shout out to him. But he was saying like the live action Barney, they had on the suit and the whole thing on a TV show. He said that the suit would get so hot, they'll put one of them desk fans, like probably about like that big. A fan maybe like that big as far as like the radius was like that big. Anyway, he would put a fan like that in this, like he would just open up the mouth of the suit where his head is and put the fan right there because it was so hot. There's nothing you could do. You get to dancing and doing all these cheers and you get to talking and all kind of stuff and you moving the mouth. And he had to like bite down on the bar to operate the mouth, have it open and do all kind of dances, sweating bullets. Hey, and shout out to the firefighters that put on the dog outfit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You got to go to a school, got to talk to some kids. You got to put on a dog outfit, the McGruff crime fighting dog or whatever it is. Hey, that thing gonna stink so bad because these firefighting guys ain't gonna watch nothing. That thing gonna stink like you never even smelt before. It's gonna smell real bad in there, and it's gonna be hot. Yeah. So shout out to everybody that work outside, whether you are a Disney mascot, a construction worker, whatever it is. I know it's hot, man. Hey, if I see you guys out there and you look kind of dehydrated, if I got some water, hey, you can have that. It's totally fine. All right. I'm not watching the World Cup, but I'm keeping I'm kind of like following the goings on of what's happening with the Europeans over here and other races of people. The foreigners visiting, having a good time and sharing their experiences. Humongous Shift says people say the dry heat is better. 116 in Phoenix ain't better. Exactly. I can't the dry heat is not better. Actually, the dry heat is not better. The dry heat is worse because there's no humidity. You're gonna, I don't know, maybe it's me. I grew up in a place where you had humidity, where you had moisture, and I fear that if I was to be in a desert environment, I would miss that. Yeah, I almost certainly miss that. What country is leading? I have no idea. You asking the wrong guy. Y'all can talk amongst yourselves on that one as far as the World Cup is concerned. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. If you're just now coming in or you came in recently, what I said at the beginning is that the stream is going to be Saturday only. Saturday only. That'd be my main thing. My attention is kind of diverted into other things. And I think Saturday will probably be the best time for me to do my stream. I have more to talk about throughout the week. And I can just dedicate more time to producing content that I need to produce right now. Excuse me, I'm falling over my chair. The long form, like 8-minute video I can do, but I just can't focus on. I got to focus on the short stuff. That's what everybody wants now. Attention span is very short. If you are like a long form content creator, you're not growing. If you do this kind of thing, if you do other things that have a different interest, you are. But this, what I do is quick. People want to see it. Okay, I saw that. So that's why I'm doing the shorts. And those are doing pretty good. I also have faceless channels I do that you're not going to see my face or you're not going to hear my voice on it. And those are also doing pretty good. Excuse me. So that'll be my focus right now. But I'm always keep on delivering the news, always keep on delivering what I do, but just not as frequently with the long form videos. And I've been trying to figure that out for a while. I was like, man, what do I want to do? Because I kind of saw this whole thing coming with the shorts some years ago. I was like, that's going to be a thing I got to address at a certain point. And here it is. Here it is. So yeah, Saturday for the streams. I'll probably put out like one video long form if I got it in a day. But you'll see a lot more of the short form content because that's where the growth is. And that's what people want to see. And like I said before, I'm here for y'all. Whatever you guys are needing from me, I'm going to try to deliver the best of my ability. If you guys want more short form content, you'll vote with your eyeballs. If you watch more of the shorts than you watch the longs, and it's not even really close, and I already know what it is. I know what you want more. So I'm going to just give you that. But either way, I'm going to still give you the same me. I'm going to still give you the same news, still give you the same non-biased perspective, the same intelligent perspective in whatever I do. So that'll be what it is. Oh, and also, I'm on a lot of different platforms. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube with multiple channels. The Uncle ABL channel, I've been uploading it there as well. Some of the shorts have been doing pretty good. My faceless, I got a few channels that I've not really spoken about yet. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in case you didn't catch it in the beginning. Okay. But I'll still do my long form, but it just won't be as much because there's less interest. That's all. Yeah, you got to branch out, virtual AI. You got to branch out and do more. That's all. Oh, and of course, a lot more podcasts coming out as well. I thought about doing street interviews. I might do some of that too. It's a lot I want to do. I just got to kind of start where I start and then keep going from there. All right. Hold on. B. Gatlin says, was in Vegas one time in August, felt like being in a huge hair dryer and it was 114 degrees. Yeah. Brickyard says, are you going to be watching that 250 thing on July 4th? So is that going to be aired? What is it going to be like a C-SPAN? I'm going to check that out. I might stream that. If I'm here, I might stream that. That might be a good idea. So I'll see what time it comes on and where I can watch it and the whole thing. Yeah. A Red Note channel? Nah, Red Note. Is that still a thing? Red Note? I remember when TikTok went down and then some of these people went to Red Note. It's like, listen, okay, maybe you don't want to do that. Red Note, it's literally, it's basically saying it's communist propaganda. You don't want that. So yeah, shout out to everybody that was on Red Note for like 5 seconds when TikTok went down. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. See that right there, the mayhem that ensued when TikTok went down lets me know just how much Americans are hooked on that app. And that tells me, okay, that's where the eyeballs are on the short form content. When TikTok, it was down for half a day. It wasn't even the full day. It was like 12 hours, and most of that time was at night, late at night. That sparked a whole big thing of, oh, I gotta find something else. I gotta scratch that itch. It's crazy. Okay, be live July 4th. Okay, I'll see what's going on. Okay, I'll definitely see what's going on. I'm gonna see where I can watch it and what time it is. But I didn't know that was going to be. Well, I guess it does make sense. They're going to show that was that the B2 or that whatever it is, the new one. They're going to show that. I got a short video of a teaser. Ernie says in Alabama and Florida, the humidity gets thick. You could cut it with a knife. Yes. I done felt the humidity. Yeah, it's serious. As soon as you go outside, you feel it. It's like you getting. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, let me read some of these here. Then I keep on rocking and rolling. Yeah, street interviews. I enjoy talking to people, and whenever I'm out anywhere, it don't matter how long I'm out. People always talk to me, and I have some meta lenses as well. So sometimes I see things, or I'm having like I think meta lenses are good to just capture things when you're out in the wild, because Facebook probably sells those at a loss, I would presume, because they want you to capture content wherever you at to feed their platform. And that's fine if they're going to, you know what I'm saying, if they're going to get you out there, they're going to show your content, it's okay. But I've seen quite a few things that I wish I had some lenses to be able to take a picture or video it right quick. It's kind of awkward to pull out your phone and be like this. But if you just go like that, it's not really a big deal. But I would never film anybody directly, like in their face with my lenses and not tell them. I would never do that. But if it's something happening, like, okay, you have a runaway giraffe or something crazy, or, okay, I might see a deer just running out randomly in front of my face, or, hey, it could be a bear, and I don't want to have to go be. That's how it is. GTA. Oh, so that's something else. You know what? GTA, what's that? GTA 6, the video game. So GTA 6, talk about that briefly. They just launched the pre-sales. It comes out November the 19th. But they just launched pre-sales, pre-orders, and they got how much money? Like 3 billion with a B. I think they got hold on. I think overall, since they have launched pre-sales for the video game, they've made $3 billion. Within the first hour, hold on, matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys. Within the first hour, they made $1 billion in the first hour. Look at that. GTA 6 made $1 billion in the first hour, according to a report. And that's from today, June 27th. In the first hour. When that game comes out, it's going to be, I can't explain it. It's going to be something that will change a lot of talk for a long time. It's going to be humongous. It's going to be really, really big. Highly anticipated game. I think the last one came out, what was that, like 10 years ago? The online component of the previous game is still doing like football numbers. It's the online component of like a 10-year-old game trounces most new video games every single year. So yeah, that's huge. Imagine you put out a product that's not even out yet. These are pre-orders. People are just ordering it before. It doesn't come out until November. We're in June. And they already made $3 billion. That's impressive. So shout out to them. Shout out to Rockstar Games for that. Anyway, when did GTA 5 come out? 2013? Good grief. Wow. So 13 years ago was the last game. Hey, I got to give it up to, well, they had a game before. They had Red Dead Redemption, but that don't count as GTA. But it's still the same people. But still, that's big for a game that came out that long ago. for the online component to still be making like Fortnite money. Hey, must be nice. Anyway, is it woke? I don't know nothing about that. I've not gotten into the politics of the game. I don't know too much about it, really. I just know that it's in Miami, and I know it's coming out in November. But beyond that, I don't know. Eternal Spring says, I pretty much only play Pavlov, VR, or MetaQuest 3. Can't play 2D games. Jerry says, 500 million copies, 50 billions, even if making... would it cost 10, even if making it would it cost 10 billion, some say only 2 billion, they still made a lot of money. Oh yeah. They pretty much print money over there. They print money over there on Rockstar Games. So yeah, shout out to them. And before I continue, shout out to you guys for watching. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Also, shout out to the sponsors, you guys, of course, but also patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or go to patriotpost.us in your browser, tell them that ABL sent you. Go to ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY.BLOGAN.com. Whenever I produce a long-form video, I write an article for the video, and in each article, I also from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, political, agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Okay, let's get to a few things here. Let's go to Paris. We have a Black Friday type of event just to get some air conditioning, just to get some kind of relief from the heat wave. Now, does anybody watch the weather forecast? Does that not really happen in Europe? If it's me, like, I'm on my phone, I got my weather right here. Okay, it's right there. All right, I got the weather right there. I can see what it's going to be many days out. That's why I can see it's going to be 99 degrees on Thursday. 99. You might as well as say 100 degrees. So I can be prepared for that very hot day. But apparently they were not ready for that very hot day at all. Let's check it out. And dudes, I did not order GTA 6 yet. I did not order it yet. I'm not going to order it until it come out. I'm going to order it after it comes out and they review it. But I'm not really, but I might give into curiosity and order it by the time November gets here. But I've not pre-ordered it yet. But anyway, this is going to be out there in Paris, France, fighting over AC. The commentary is not what I want on the video, but it's okay. All I hear is oui.
Stop calling. C'est une dinguerie. C'est une dinguerie.
So you can see what's going on. And then some of this is just like, just fans. It's not even the AC, it's just a fan. It's like, y'all don't even have fans in your house? I understand an AC might not necessarily be what you need because, it doesn't really get too hot. But a fan, I feel like if you have a warm day where it's not super hot, a fan is perfect. It's the perfect solution. Let's say it's like 85 degrees and your AC is out. That'll get her done. I done spent plenty of days in grandma's house in West Virginia where it's AC, but you got a window unit in one room, and that room is not where I'll be all the time. So, and sometimes it wouldn't really get the job done. If it's hot, you're gonna need that fan. You only got a fan? Anyway, shout out to shout out to the Europeans, the Parisians, whatever you want to call them, for discovering a floor fan. A floor fan. And we got more. Okay, air cons, air conditioning units, and fans. Hey, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when there's a snowstorm coming and everybody goes to the grocery store to get toilet paper for some reason. I don't know. Why is that? Can somebody explain that to me? Like, okay, let's be honest in the chat. And look, I ain't going to judge you if you have done this, but I'm just trying to understand. I want to learn from myself. Have any of you guys ever gone to the store and stocked up on toilet paper when there was an emergency? A flood, or it's snowing, or have you guys ever done that? And why'd you do that? Was there a fear that you were not going to be able to wipe a butt anymore? Like you're gonna do more than anyway. I want to know why that seems to be the go-to thing to get. Now, this is also in somewhere in France. I don't know if it's in Paris, but the guy crashed the bus. I'm gonna just talk over it. The guy crashed the bus because there was no AC on the bus. It's hot, and he passed out from heat exhaustion. It could have been a heat stroke or something like that. He crashes the bus because of the heat. And that's pretty rough. Yeah. So is there no little fan right there? Because normally on the bus, it's a fan right on top of the driver or something to keep it kind of cool. Because even if it doesn't get hot too often, a bus, you're talking about a tube. Like a car. I mean, if you have a car, is there no AC in the car? That should be pretty. Don't tell me, my European brothers and sisters, that there's no AC in the car. I mean, come now. Come on. Because what if you are driving and you can't roll your window down? It's raining or something like that, or it's smoke, or you want to keep the air quality as good as possible. What are you going to do? Hold on. The Deadly Developer says, I don't go shopping at the store, order everything delivery. See, people were asking that question. Is there no Amazon? Well, I'm not sure if it is or if it isn't, but I'm not sure they have the immediate delivery because people were having the heat issue right at that moment. There was no preparation. There was no pre-planning. Because like I said, if it's me, I look at my phone and I see it'll be 100 degrees. I'm going to get prepared right now. So if I needed something to get me through that, I'm going to go on my Amazon. Like I'm going to see it on my phone. I'm going to go on my Amazon and I'm going to order whatever I need and it'll be here in a couple of days. Or I'm going to go to the store and get it without having to fight a mad rush. Some things I will still go to the store for. Some things I'll still go to the store for. But for the most part, nah, let me just, do Amazon if that makes more sense. Now, what they also did in Paris is cover the windows with aluminum foil just because they want to get some relief from the heat. So I guess the foil will reflect the sunlight to make the interior of the structure cooler. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on there. It's like, come on, Paris, let's tighten up. Let's step into the 21st century, shall we? Come on now. But you see this old infrastructure. I mean, how long have these buildings been here? Obviously, this ain't nothing that's been built recently. So, I mean, I get it. I understand. But you got windows. You could retrofit that. You have electricity in there, I would suppose. You can plug up a fan, a plug-in air conditioner unit. Yeah, you could do that in there. But hey, I guess everybody can't. Okay. This is going to be Sky News talking about what's happening over there. They say some of the home temperatures reach 38 degrees. So 38 Celsius, that's 100 degrees. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. 38 C to F, 100.4. Okay. Inside your house, imagine inside your home is 100 degrees. What is your current home temperature? Right now, see, I'm a little bit warm-blooded, I guess you would say. So mine is like 76. I like 76. I don't like anything in the 60s. It's a little bit too cold for me. It's a little bit too cold for me. So right now, I'm at 76. And really, it depends on what thermostat you're using and where you are and how big the room is and where the AC is located. If I'm in an apartment, I think maybe 72. If it's a small apartment or a hotel room, something like that. But in a house that's bigger, like this house, 76. But sometimes maybe like 73, 74 in the apartment. But anyway, whatever it is, it's most certainly not 100 degrees, which is what they have going on here. Check it out.
When it's hot, we're told to stay out of the heat. But what if your home offers no escape?
I feel myself like I'm in the oven, to be honest, because I have some problem with my health and the heat is really affecting me.
Irina is a Ukrainian mother of two living in temporary accommodation in West London and has Graves' disease, which already makes her prone to overheat.
This heat is produced like much more hormones which can even kill me because one is overactive. Thyroid is producing a lot of hormones which is like autoimmune. My body attack myself.
It's only 11:30 in the morning and it's already nearly 34 degrees. And by the evening, temperatures in here are reaching 38 degrees. London is a hotspot, but the East and West Midlands, the East of England and the South East are also painfully bad.
5,000 neighbourhoods in this country. That's about a third of this country, including 2,000 with severe deprivation. They have overlapping environmental injustices. And what we mean by that is, this is where you live with air pollution, a lack of green space, where you live in some of the poorest housing, where you're more susceptible to flooding, water pollution. All of these things add up. And what you see is a map not just of environmental injustices, you see a map of inequality. You see a map of geographical abandonment.
Tayshan grew up next to the Grenfell Tower, which burned down in 2017. He found solace in gardening and has been transforming.
All right, so there we go. And RIP to the Grenfell. I remember when that whole thing happened, the Grenfell Tower burned down. But yeah, shout out to the AC. It's definitely a great invention that people should have in their modern homes and their vehicles and whatnot. There was a story I saw where they said there was a building where there were some like high-ranking officials, I believe in France. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know. But the building had high-ranking officials. Now, on the first 7 floors, this is where the workers worked. People who were not high-ranking officials. For them, there was no AC. But once you got above floor 7, where all the important people were, they had AC. Interesting how that works. But anyway. Now, some people are saying, you know what? It's so hot at my house. I'm going to just sleep outside on the ground. I'm gonna go to this park and sleep outside on the ground.
En vrai, je pourrais vraiment dormir. C'est vrai.
C'est des gourdes.
Ouais, c'est vrai.
On a des portables.
Oui.
So, would you guys do this if it was super hot in your house? You have no relief. Hold on, let me see if they're gonna speak in English.
Chaud, même si on a les ventilos.
Nah, they're not speaking in English. But they're saying, look, it's hot in the house and we gotta be out here. All right, that's kind of what's happening. So hey, what do you do? What do you do? Now I noticed one thing. You got quite a bit of non-European looking people, which you know why that is. It's because the birth rate in Europe is like 0. I'm exaggerating, but you understand what I'm saying. They got a low birth rate, so they got to bring in a bunch of immigrants. Same thing with the USA. But yeah, would you guys sleep outside on the ground because it's too hot in your house? Now, I don't know. I mean, that might be a little bit too much. And if I'm going to do that, can I at least get a tent? I ain't going to just be outside. Like, because one thing about it, I don't want a tick to hit me on the hind parts. Now I got some kind of crazy disorder. I can't eat steak no more. Hey, and I just had an amazing ribeye from Outback. I've been to quite a few steak places. I've cooked my own steak. And I think the best steak place I've been to is a place called Echo in Atlanta. If you guys been there, you're gonna pay an arm and a leg on your firstborn child. I wouldn't recommend going there normally. That's like, but that steak was amazing. But out of like a Longhorn and Outback, I would say probably Longhorn Steakhouse. Ribeye from not a ribeye, a New York from Longhorn Steakhouse. Perfection. Yeah. And it won't get charged an arm and a leg in your firstborn child. You can get it for a good price. That's where I'm at. That's most certainly where I'm at. Oh, and also, here's this. So, Britons, people in UK, were ordered to remove air conditioning from homes during the heat wave where it was over 100 degrees Fahrenheit because of the net zero crackdown. That's the whole carbon emission thing. Oh, we got to respect the climate, isn't it? The climate is important, isn't it? Remove the aircon from your home, isn't it? Remove the aircon. It's 100 degrees. What you want me to do? Die? So yeah, shout out to the Europeans who are proud to catch heat stroke and die because they want to save their environment. Imagine that. You delete yourself to save their environment. That make no sense. I mean, if I'm not here, then how can I help the environment? Me not being here helps their environment is crazy. But anyway, so in Japan, what they do, or what they've done here at this school, they got a retractable roof for the play area so the kids are able to go outside and play and not get scorched by the heat. This is, so Japan. Hey, Japan, I love you guys. You guys are the best in the world. But let's check this out right quick. Retractable roof for the kids to go outside and play.
強い日差しの中でも子供たちに外遊びを楽しんでもらおうと、今月11日、運動場に長さ25メートル、横幅30メートルある大型のサンシェードを設置しました。
So there we go. And then
サンシェードの下では子供たちが元気に遊んでいます。日向にいる時よりも体感としては風が通るのですごく涼しく感じます。
So yeah, that right there, that's smart. That's really creative thinking. You could just unfurl that, and now you got a nice shaded area. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's how you do that. And I'm sure there's AC inside the actual building, but when they want to go outside and play and it's too hot, hey, throw that on top and you good. You know what that reminds me of? Back in the day, where you had the field day, and you had that real big, that colorful sheet. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you go up there, when you throw it up like that and run up underneath, it reminds me of that. But that's much more efficient. Yeah, and it's cheap. Yep, that's right. Creative and cheap. That's right, STM. Creative and cheap. Absolutely. Okay, now they had an earthquake in Japan too. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that right quick. Yeah, there was also an earthquake in Japan. This was off the coast of the Iwate prefecture. I know I'm not saying that right, so please pardon me. But this is also the Aomori prefecture. So again, I don't know how to pronounce these names, but I'm gonna show you guys what happened. Is there a sound? Let me see. Yeah, there's sound. So that's Hishimaki, Aomori prefecture. That's the Iwate prefecture. So it doesn't look as bad as the Venezuela situation, but there were earthquakes. This was June 25th. So this is like right around the same time of other earthquakes happening around the world, but Venezuela being the biggest one. And of course, you're going to have earthquakes in Japan because it's right there on the fault line. That's going to be a constant. You got volcanoes in Japan and all of that. So you're going to have that. Of course, we know what happened with the Fukushima incident. That was crazy. So there will be earthquakes in that part of the world. Now, this is going to be in Venezuela. Here's some damage from the earthquake afterward. Is there sound? There's music. So you can see how bad it is. The buildings just collapse because, again, you got concrete structures, not really with any kind of reinforcement. It's just built. And when you have an earthquake, it's like cards. It's like playing cards that come crumbling down. And as a result, we have thousands upon thousands of people missing. And as of right now, I think when you guys said it, 1,500 dead, but thousands more missing. Yeah, really, really unfortunate. But again, that's in Venezuela. And I believe Caracas, the capital, got hit right on the coast. But there's more here. There's more. Let me go back. Now, I won't show the building where he was going on the spiral because I put it on my short if you guys want to see that. But this is how the building was cracking. Look at that crack that developed. That's scary. There's no sound on the video, so I'll just talk through it. You can see you have an earthquake happening, and you got that. Look at that crack that developed. I mean, you see something like that, and then you seeing stuff starting to sag down. You get big pieces falling down, and then right where they just were, you get big pieces falling down. And imagine people that were not able to make it out. And you're going to see how quickly this all devolves. Only in about 30 seconds from the time I start playing the video, 30 seconds, and now you have it looking like this. We got water, we got power lines, we got all kind of stuff, plus the debris and the dust you're breathing in. Oh my gosh, that's rough. Again, out there in Venezuela. Yeah, that's real rough. You got 1,500 dead and many more thousands missing still. And this was out there in Caracas. You had a building where you had like a pool on top. And because of the earthquake, the building was waving. And you could see the water coming off of the building because the water was in the pool. And the shaking shook the water out of the pool. Okay, let's check it out. We got some sound on this video, I believe.
¡Está temblando! ¡Está temblando! ¡Ay, no! Dios mío, no la... ¡No! Sí, yo estaba sentado ahí. ¡Ay, Dios mío!
So yeah, that's pretty rough out there in Venezuela. But again, prayers out to them. Okay, now here's the Beijing situation. This is in Beijing, China. You have the 109-story CITIC tower, CITIC tower, and a small plane crashed into it. I'm talking about very small because you see the debris field is not much. It's like a paper plane hit it. So you can see the plane. It's like, see how small it is? It's not much bigger than a person. So right up there, you see that little mark right up there? That's where it hit. And it was just two windows basically that were burst out. So not really much damage at all. The building probably didn't even move. These tall structures like that are built to last. In a place like Beijing, especially. Now, in other parts of China and other buildings, maybe not so much. Maybe you could have knocked it over with a swift wind, like what's the name of that the fairy tale? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, the big bad wolf or whatever, blow the whole house down, one puff. But with that, that's not going nowhere. And I know it's a small plane, but hey, it's a plane. All right, let's keep going. So we have the pro-algae people. Okay, we got the pro-algae people, and then I'm gonna show a little bit about the algae. There was some arrests made for the reflecting pool because somebody or some people came by and vandalized it, allegedly. But here are the pro-algae protesters at the reflecting pool in DC.
Algae is doing good today, honey. Team Algae, we're sweethearts. Everybody's proud of you. You are single-handedly doing more to fight fascism than any American has. Yes. Let's go, Algae. Yeah, algae! Woo! Algae!
Okay, so we got algae protesters. Imagine that. Imagine you spent your Tuesday afternoon or whenever this was protesting for algae to grow in the pool. I feel like I could do a lot more of my time than that. But hey, it's whatever you want to do. It's fine. So now there's a gate around it, but they're saying the gate is because they're setting up fireworks. So it's a sign right here on the gate. It says, coming to you on July 4th, danger, explosives, authorized personnel only. So that's on the fence surrounding.
When this fence isn't up.
That's on the fence surrounding the reflecting pool. Let's see what he says right here. This TMZ guy.
When this fence isn't up, you can just walk down here, walk across, or anywhere. But now, and there's a lot of tourists here still. You got to walk up there, and you got to be as far back as this grass. Like over here, I don't even know where you can't even see it. This is the only vantage point. This is the only place you can get anywhere near the reflecting pools, right here. I don't know why, if you're setting up fireworks, then why aren't you setting up fireworks? And this is the opposite end of the reflecting pool from the Lincoln Memorial. Can't get close. We're all fenced out. They're setting up.
All right, there we go. So that's what's happening right there with the reflecting pool. They say, we're trying to get the fireworks set up, but also the vandals out. And you got some National Guard down there. Now, here is video of somebody that they say cut the pool with a knife or a box cutter or something like that. I don't know what they had, but they cut the pool, allegedly. See right there, kind of squatting down. It says video released by USPP shows what appears to be a woman kneeling and reaching her arm into the water.
They've arrested, I think, 6 people on the reflecting pool. Somebody went in with a knife and cut it. They cut it up good. And then they cut a 350-foot slip in the form of lots of little slips, a real horrible stuff, and they destroyed the grass.
The site continues to be a hub for far left-wing protests and multiple arrests and charges just weeks after its renovation.
They're taking it out, they vacuum it out, they vacuum it very carefully out, and it'll be back to health pretty soon. We're gonna have to let the water out to fix there's 2 little areas, very little areas where they were cut, and we'll fix that, but it's not leaking or anything, it's got a base underneath.
All right, there we go. I mean, my question is why? Why do that? What's the purpose? Tell me the reason. Tell me a good reason why you gotta vandalize the pool. Like, I don't really understand. I don't get it. Now they got a machine trying to pump the algae out. Or trying to, I don't know if they're putting chemicals in there. I don't know what's going on. My question is, how long can actually run that? They got a diesel generator. It's loud. How long can you actually do that? That's going to take away from the picturesque nature of the reflecting pool if you got this big machine right here pumping whatever, who knows what, into it. I don't know. But that's what's happening with the reflecting pool out there in Washington, D.C. Okay, now, Barack Obama has been talking a little bit lately. Have you seen what Obama said about Trump? Oh, he's obsessed. Obsessed. Is that what's happening? Let's watch.
You got to ask him what it is that
the obsession.
The obsession.
I know what it is.
Yeah, I obviously, have a room in his head,
rent free. You do everything with grace.
A suite in his head. But the thing about it is that was always clear to me. Look, first of all, when I was president, the last thing I had time to do was worry about what
somebody said,
or what my predecessor did.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone. I've got work to do.
You locked in.
It's hard to describe if you're doing the job right.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you've got 5, 10 things that are real hard, and you have to be constantly focused. The idea that I'd be worrying about
came before
somebody who came before and me trying to measure, like, what's he done today? Look, constantly worrying about that is a strange thing to me. It shows me somebody who's not focused on the American people and the job they're supposed to do.
All right, there we go. But you know what? What's funny is that presidents always speak of previous presidents because whatever the current president is doing is measured up to the previous guy and other presidents, aside from just the one that came before them, not just their immediate predecessor, but all presidents, because it's a conversation. Okay, who's the best president? Who's the worst president? That's a conversation. And your name will come up as Trump is in office and you were the immediate predecessor. And really, nobody will do anything. We're just talking, because when you, Mr. Obama, and President Trump were at Jimmy Carter's funeral, it was all handshakes and hugs and, laughing and joking. And I saw y'all when y'all were talking and Kamala looked back, y'all stopped talking. I saw that. So really, you just on the podcast talking. Whenever I see a podcast, even my podcast, don't take it seriously. Just take it for entertainment. Now, of course, what I tell you is going to be right. So you could just look it up for yourself and then you're going to see that I'm right. And even if you don't agree, later on, you'll see that I'm right 99% of the time. Anyway, now speaking about predecessors and successors and whatnot, we got JD Vance. He was on Bill Maher. Did you guys see that? So he was on Bill Maher talking about a few things, but one thing was about the election. Let me see if this is the right video here. Yeah, the election. Hey, JD, if you run in 28 and you lose, are you going to say that it was rigged? Let's watch. And RIP in advance to the headphone users. That was a good answer. And to be clear, you're talking about Facebook and Twitter and whatnot. Now, that was at the behest of the federal government. The federal government came in and said, hey, you know what? I'm not saying it was Trump and them that did this, but there's elements in the government that say, hey, you can't post that. Hunter Biden laptop, that was a clear example, a clear shining example. That laptop was 100% legitimate. It was real, and it was pertinent to the election. The Democratic nominee's son is smoking crack and playing with guns on video. That's an important thing to come out, but that was squashed. And it was considered to be Russian propaganda, things like this. There was a whole big thing from the so-called intelligence community. What did they say? They said, you know what? This is all fake. Russian propaganda is not real. But we know now, as we knew then, that it was real. So what he's saying there is right. We don't got to talk about Dominion and all that kind of stuff. We can set it aside. Let's talk about what actually happened that we all can agree on. You might not agree on the whole Dominion angle, but you must agree on the angle of the big tech companies censoring information that we needed to know as American people. Good answer, JD. Good answer. Okay. Let's keep going here.
If we don't.
And how do you guys like JD Vance? Do you like JD or Marco? Marco's my guy. Marco, I like him a lot. He's really, really good. I like JD too. I'm not an anti-JD person, but I'm asking you guys, who do you prefer? Marco or JD? I won't do a poll. I'll just ask. I don't want to put you on blast like that. What's a third option? Marco or JD? Oh, so that's the answer about the war, answer about Iran. What do you guys think? Are you liking him? Are you team JD, team Marco? Y'all let me know what's going on. All right. But shout out to you guys again. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. We got quite a few more things to get into. Okay. And let's keep on rocking. Now, Scott Wiener, you know who Scott Wiener is. Scott Wiener is a senator, I believe. Make sure I'm saying the right thing. Scott Wiener, California senator. Yep, California senator. And one thing about Scott Wiener is that he's very well known for being super pro LGBT to the point where it's ridiculous. One thing that he did was he campaigned to remove, what was that? It was like trying to remove a lot of the LGBT from the sex offender registry, because a lot of these gay guys, it's men that do it normally. They would do stuff like have sex in the park, openly in the public, and those kind of things. If you do that, you get caught by the police, you are a sex offender. So he was one that was saying these kind of things stigmatize the LGBT community. That's that kind of guy. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a super far left pro LGBT guy. But apparently he's not quite far left enough for some of his own people out there in California. Okay, let's take a look.
Scott, I think your legislation on trans issues and your legislation specifically protecting queers on the sex offender registry is fantastic. Like, I really applaud you for that, and I think you deserve to be here for that. But I think your housing policy, and specifically your housing policy aligning with YIMBYs, and I think your policy, and I think your policy on the genocide in Gaza, and I think your policy on the genocide in Gaza is terrible. I think you do not belong here. I think you do not belong here. You do not belong here, Scott, anymore. It sucks because you've been wonderful. You've been wonderful for trans people, and you've been terrible. And you've been terrible. You've been terrible. You've been terrible on Gaza. You do not belong here anymore, Scott, and it breaks my fucking heart. It breaks my heart.
Okay, so what's happening here, because you don't understand, again, this is Scott Wiener, California senator in the U.S. Senate. He is very pro-LGBT and clearly gay himself. He's tall. He's like 6'7". That's why he looks like so giant like that. He's a very tall person, but a super strong LGBTQ LMNP proponent. But apparently he's not in favor of the far left radicals wearing the terrorist scarf. You know, he's not one of these Free Palestine type of guys. So now he's going to get protest by his own people. And I believe he's at a trans march. You see that right there? You see the flag? You got the trans flag right there. And of course you got some transformers rolling up on him. Imagine not being enough for these people who you're trying to actually support. So, you know what I get from this, Mr. Scott Wiener? Maybe, just maybe, you are supporting the wrong people. Maybe your people are not really good. Most, not all, but most. Maybe that's what's going on here. And now you're getting a reality check. So yeah, shout out to you, Scott Wiener. Hopefully you enjoyed that trans march where all these people coming up on you out of nowhere, yelling and screaming and hollering and carrying on, hooting and hollering. I don't feel bad for you at all, because what you have put out there, now you're getting back to you. It is what it is. Now, This was a good video that you may have seen in my short. This is Arakana Chihom. I'm not going to try to pronounce this name, but she is from Zimbabwe. I think she says it's a former African Union ambassador for the United States. And she's a diplomat currently for Zimbabwe, from Zimbabwe. She's talking about U.S. aid. As we know, U.S. aid got defunded largely due to the efforts of Doge and other efforts. And some say that, since Doge is gone, Elon Musk has killed millions of African children. Is that the reality, or is it something else that's going on? Let's hear from her about the reality of Doge on the ground in Africa.
We need to understand the real reason why USAID is in Africa. Their sole purpose was to act as if they're coming to rescue Africa. They're coming to fill in the gaps in government services, gaps in education, gaps in healthcare. They are coming in claiming that they're introducing grassroots initiatives that are going to help the people. And so they use that as a way to go into the most remote parts of Africa. They're talking about government advocacy. When you look at it on paper, it all looks really good, but they're actually wolf in sheep's clothing. They are using that open access sounding humanitarian to constantly destabilize governments. I can tell you right now, the majority of African leaders, and not just African leaders, but leaders in the developing world, are celebrating the exit of USAID.
There we go. So shout out to her, talking about people are celebrating, African leaders, the majority of them are celebrating the exit of USAID because it's another way to go in there and destabilize and do things that they want to do. So they are not really keen on that. And a lot of it is just us wasting money. So yeah, I don't see the loser here. All I see is winners. All I see are winners in this situation. Okay. Zohran he'll be raising taxes. We'll talk about that in a minute, but a rent freeze. Now, in rent stabilized units in New York City, landlords will not be able to raise rent for 2 years at least. And they're going to vote on this every year.
New York, the Independent Rent Guidelines Board just froze the rent. That means if you're one of the more than 2 million New Yorkers who lives in a rent-stabilized apartment, your rent's going to be frozen next year.
All right, so there we go. So I guess that's a good thing that you're going to freeze the rent. People like Zohran, the communist sympathizers, the socialists, they think this kind of thing makes sense because in their mind, if you're a landlord, you're rich, you're rolling in money. It's a tax on landlords. It's a tax on real estate owners. You're going to raise property taxes by 15% next month. And July 1st is on Wednesday. This is now Saturday. Not even a full week from now, you're going to raise property taxes by 15%. You're going to raise water utility by 6%. At the same time, you're going to say that you can't raise the rent. Make it make sense. You're raising prices on things that will directly affect me, which is a tax. Then you're saying I can't raise the rent. That's going to be a tax as well because I'm going to need that more money to pay the higher expenses. I'm just getting taxed with no reprieve. If I was a person who owned a rent stabilized unit, I would sell. And that might be the objective here, is to get people to sell or to have their homes in disrepair so then they can be seized by the city. And of course, when the city gets it, when NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority, when they get it, it'll become a slum even more than what it may have been before. The landlord has stopped maintaining it because of the increase in prices that they can't account for because of the rent freeze. Now, here's a little bit more from Zohran, the Ugandan nightmare. And RIP to the headphone user. Sorry for the loud noise. Let me start from the top, please.
I wanted to come and bring everybody a happy rent freeze cake. I know it's not yet 9 o'clock. It might be a little early for cake.
We don't care. Happy rent freeze.
Happy rent freeze.
Really, you don't know what that means.
Yes, that's right. So all of
Especially
us.
when you're on a fixed ticket. So you know I was getting out of bed to see you this morning.
Anyone who would like a slice? I am
Yes.
so glad to celebrate this morning with all of you, because at the heart of this are tenants. And you all have helped to build this city. You've given stability to this city. It's time the city brings some stability to you. And we're so excited that the Rent Guidelines Board decided to freeze the rent not just for 1 year, but for the first time in New York City history for 2 years.
What people are calling impossible, but you are showing that in the word impossible is impossible. That's what this is about.
I've lived here since 2017. It just keeps on getting more expensive, and our landlords are not coming through. So we need pressure. And we look at each other every day and we say, come on, Mamdani, help us out. And
am I tripping? Like, do I see Mark Henry and Kurt Angle, or am I tripping? Anyway.
So he's here. It was amazing to see him in the building with us.
I cannot tell you what this means to senior citizens. We're on a fixed income. The prices of everything has gone up. I was really very nervous because I was just signing a new lease and I couldn't believe that this is like a dream come true. And for him to come to the building where the people are, the real people who need the help in New York City, you don't know how meaningful this is.
Okay, there we go. And Mark Henry and Kurt Angle, there you go. That's them in real life. But the guys we just saw look just like them. You know, put a beard on Kurt Angle, and you have them right there. So shout out Mark Henry, Kurt Angle, and shout out to those guys who look just like them. Alternate universe. Hey, maybe somebody went in time travel and touched a butterfly, and next thing you know, you got Mark Henry and Kurt Angle in some apartment together in New York City. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to it. Can I? Yeah, there we go. Like, what in the world, man? Look, this is a crazy place we live in. This thing we call planet Earth. Because what in the world is that? Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. People just don't know. They think that the rent freeze will help them, but they don't understand what goes into rent. The price to maintain their property is baked into the rent. If the cost of maintenance goes up, but I can't raise the rent, then where's money come from? It come from my own pocket? What if I can't afford it? What if I'm going to lose money on that property every month? I'm not going to pay you to live in my unit. I'm going to not renew your lease, and you'll be evicted because there's no lease. And now where you going to live? You're going to live in the open market, in the non-rent controlled place, where you're going to pay a lot more money. Because let's be clear, this is not applied to all apartments, only the rent stabilized units. Zohran said there's about 2 million residents currently in rent control, rent stabilized units. So what about the non-rent stabilized units? Those are going to go up because it's going to go up anyway, because you got real estate and all that taxes going up. But if you have fewer of the rent stabilized units available, if your lease runs out and I feel like it doesn't make any sense to rent this place, I'm going to just keep it off to the market. That'll be what I do. That'll be how I go about it. So yeah, shout out to Mark Henry and Kurt Angle. That's good. Okay, here's a little bit more about the rent freeze from a knowledgeable person.
It's getting more and more difficult to just simply run and manage these buildings.
More than 2.4 million people live in rent-stabilized buildings.
I'm the managing agent for my elderly mother who's had a building for over 70 years.
And the owners can't cover costs.
She's maintained her building well. She has long-term tenants, which means that she has very low rent.
They go into debt trying to provide stable housing.
I've put a lot of money into renovating the apartments. The individual apartment improvements from DHCR does not measure the amount of money you put in.
No shelter, NYCHA building, or rent-stabilized building can house families. When we freeze the funding,
I'm going to lose this property to the bank.
Yet a rent freeze is coming, and we're left to watch housing deteriorate with no plan to save the homes of millions.
It's getting more.
All right, there we go. So It's an issue. It's definitely an issue. The more taxes are levied on someone, the more restrictions levied on someone, the harder it would be to maintain the property. And when a property becomes difficult to maintain, it will not be maintained. Now you're going to have a slum. And when NYCHA takes it, it'll still be a slum. It'll be even worse. It'll be even worse. All right. Zephyr says, what's wrong with these people supporting this? Good grief, they don't get what's going on. They don't, most normies don't understand the way that this world works. They have no idea. It's just like raising the minimum wage. The average person just walking around, mouth breathing, may think that's a good idea. But once you look down to what's really happening, it's not a good idea. That's not how the market does not respond well to forced changes that are not natural to the market. The minimum wage right now is $7.25. But at the McDonald's right down the way, you got guys getting $15 an hour off the rip. Why? Because this area can support it. That's what people want to, you can charge $10 for a McDonald's meal, and it's okay to some people. It's okay. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm kind of going ahead a little bit. Just speaking about costs and things of this nature. I'm going to show you this right quick. Then I'm going to get right back to it. But this is in LAX. Okay, LA, Los Angeles International Airport. I would not eat at LAX. Now, I have eaten at airports. Hartsfield-Jackson, my favorite airport of all time. Hey, you know what? To some of you guys, I know I'm kind of bouncing around, but some of you guys talking about it's hard to navigate Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta. I'm going to put on my meta lenses and I'm going to just take you through it. It's so simple. It's so easy. I'm going to take you through the whole process, going through the parking ride and getting dropped right at the front entrance of the airport, going through. I'm going to show you the whole thing. It's real easy. But at Hartsfield-Jackson, I will eat there. They got some nice stuff. They got this one tacos place. I think it's on Concourse C. Them tacos, I gotta find that place again. I'm gonna Google it and see if I can find the name of it. And if they got one out in the world, I'm gonna go there. Okay, I would go there just on a normal day, but I can't get past TSA without no ticket. But anyway, them tacos were so good. They had a fried chicken taco. I know that sounds ghetto and bit back, but hey, I'm a health nut. Today I fasted, no food at all today, and I might fast tomorrow to make it a double-decker, a double-header. But sometimes when I want to just be a bit back, I'll do something like that. That taco was so good. I had 3 tacos. I forget what the other one. I think I had a fish, a fried chicken, and something else. Amazing. I will eat in the airport, but LAX, I would never. This person got 2 combos from Burger King at LAX. Guess how much he paid? And part in the cussing, there's a little bit of cussing and stuff like that, but y'all know how people are. They can't talk without cursing. So I apologize for that. But guess how much 2 combo meals at Burger King cost in total at LAX? As you guessed that, I'll play the video.
Catching a red eye. And can you believe it? This nigga's a rich nigga, Burger King? Look at these prices, bro. Look at these prices, nigga. What are you talking about? What's going on at LAX? So here's the actual total, nigga. $65.
$65.81 for 2 combo meals at Burger King. So look, this is an exception, obviously, because you're at the airport. It's in Los Angeles. It's California. And then look at the tax, 9.75. Look at that tax for the sales tax. I mean, you already know where you at. It's in California. But see, the problem is that you're going to experience high fast food all over the country. It might not be that high, but it's going to be high. So nobody can say to me, ABL, I can't afford to eat healthy. If you can spend $65.81 on 2 combo meals at Burger King in the airport, you can afford to eat healthy. I promise you can. I promise. Okay, I can get a ribeye, I can get 2 New York strips right now for like $20. And you're going to get a lot more nutrients, a lot more meat than Burger King. And man, there's no way I would ever. And really, look at the screen though. When I see the price, look at for a double Whopper, $24.99. $24, basically $25. For the sandwich by itself, $15 for a Whopper. I would never. Back in my day, I know for sure that I've gone to BK and I've paid $1 for that Whopper. I know that I did that as an adult because I was driving. I know I did that. $15, you out of your mind. Hey, that better be the grass-fed Wagyu. I mean, I better be getting a gourmet dinner. Listen, matter of fact, hold on. That price for that combo is what I can get a steak at Lone Star? I can get a steak at Lone Star for that same price. I can get a 12-ounce New York strip for $25. And I'm going to get 2 sides to go with it. You know, me, I'm going to get broccoli and asparagus or something like that. Or I could get the steak, baked potato, and broccoli for that price. I would never. But hey, some of y'all got money, y'all bought. Hey, y'all can do it. Y'all can do it. But it's just not me. Just not me. Now, speaking about LA still, California still, here's a squatter video that I promised you guys earlier. Okay, so this guy is a professional squatter evictor. You got to go through a lot to evict squatters sometimes because they don't want to leave. They want to do whatever they want to do, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so here's a squatter video. Then I'm going to come right back to the renter thing. Then I'm going to keep on moving. Let me get to the calls a little bit later. Watch this.
He turns the tables on the squatters in some very creative ways. He's known as a squatter hunter. And after his father passed away, he had to deal with squatters. So he became very familiar with California's squatting laws and found some loopholes of his own. Now, because squatting is a civil matter, police can't do anything. You have to take it up in court. And that can take years. So he expedites the process by officially getting added to a lease, moving in, and becoming the worst roommate imaginable. If you aren't on parole, he'll just eat your food, blast music, and guarantee you won't be getting any sleep until you leave. But he noticed the worst squatters are often people on parole. So he had to get extra creative. And for those, he moves in with firearms. Since those on parole can't live in a home with firearms, they are instantly in violation. He calls the cops, and suddenly, it's no longer a civil matter. Follow for more.
There we go. So that's quite a bit. Like I said, if I got to do all of that just to get out a tenant, and I think maybe having the tenants may not be worth it. Just maybe. I'm just saying. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, let's go back here. And hold on. Yeah, let's go back here.
They're not.
This is going to be a Chinatown landlord. Shout out to him. Excuse me.
They're not even hiding the bias anymore. The mayor had campaigned on a rent freeze. He appoints 75% of the board, and now he's got his hand on the scale. If we keep eroding one side of the equation, something's got to give, and the people in those buildings are going to suffer. So there has to be some kind of fairness and recognition of the math. They're not even hiding the bias.
All right, there we go. So, yeah, really unfortunate what's happening out there in New York with the rent freeze and everything, but hey, it is what it is. Okay. Now, Dustin Poirier, did you guys see that? Speaking about airports, Dustin Poirier got himself arrested at Hartsfield-Jackson, my home airport. Now, I think this was before the whole thing happened. You can see there's a fan, and you got a bar, and you got a little drinky drink right there. There's plenty of bars in the airport. I put pistols to get drunk. I see people all the time. People on the plane will be drinking. People, before they get on the plane, they be drinking. I know some people, they say that they got to get a drink before they go on the plane because they're too nervous. I'm like, man, it can't be that serious. But anyway, here is a little bit of before what happened.
Grab it, please. Please. Start in the clinch like the. Nothing, bro. Nothing.
All right, there we go. So just a little bit of, just he's cool. At this point, maybe the drinks hadn't really hit the system yet. You got the glass of wine right there, little white wine. All right, Destin. I thought you might have been like a Bud Light, not a Bud Light, Miller High Life, Natty Ice kind of guy. You got a little bit of red wine. You got a little bit of white wine right there. A little bit of Chardonnay. Okay, Destin. And if you guys don't know, Dustin Poirier is a UFC fighter, and he was on a flight and got kicked off. In Hartsfield Jackson.
Let's go, big dog. Let's go, big dog.
What's going on?
What's up? Bunch of hoes. Let's go. Let's go.
So you see a guy on the same shirt, and you see his voice is cracking. Now he's drunk. And again, he's a UFC fighter.
Relax. No, they lying. Yeah, pull me off the plane. All my boys went to the crib. Now what the
And this is why he got
all right. You Dustin Poirier?
Man, you, bro.
All right, just relax.
Man, you and her and her. I'll fight you right now.
No, I don't want to fight, bro.
I'll go with you right now.
Bro, I don't want to fight, bro. I don't want to fight.
Let's go.
I don't want to fight.
Let's go.
Radio, have you?
Yeah, tell him, come on.
Get a couple of
because it's gonna be bad.
Bro, just
it's gonna be bad, my nigga.
Bro.
What's up?
Bro, relax.
You wanna fight?
Radio 237.
You wanna
Radio,
fight
start
something?
several units.
How you boys not gonna want to fight something?
Radio
Bro.
237 Sam.
Boy, you.
Bro,
You
relax,
gonna
relax, bro.
You gonna
Relax.
taste me?
Relax, bro.
You gonna taste me, dog?
Relax.
Bro, I'm gonna bang you up.
Bro, relax.
Give me a good one.
Just relax.
Give me a good one.
Yo. They kicked him off the
Bunch
flight.
of hoes,
This
bro.
guy's a UFC fighter. You know.
What's going on, brother? Talk to me. Man, the beach is lying hoes, man. Let's go. Arrest me. Let's go. Let's go. Arrest me. That's the best way, dog. That's the best way. Hey, pound it.
All right, man.
Now you did a great job, bro. You did a great job. You did what you could.
All right, shout out to APD for handling the situation pretty well. Yeah, you don't want to get into a fight with a UFC fighter. I mean, you don't want to do that because now, if you are a police officer getting into a fight with that guy, you're going to have to kill him or at least shoot him with a gun. The taser ain't going to do nothing. If the taser is ineffective, you're in trouble because a trained fighter, it's not much you can really do trying to fight him. You're going to have to use your gun. So what you don't want to happen is somebody to get deleted in Hartsfield Jackson Airport. You don't want that. So the cops did the exact right thing. Again, shout out to Atlanta Police Department. That's not TSA. That's APD. So shout out to them. But yeah. Now, after that happened, Dustin was like, you know what? I'm going through some things and, alcohol is a part of my life and it took my dad down. I wanted to take me down. So he was acknowledging the fact that he was drunk and had a problem with drinking. So that's that on that. But yeah, that ended as well as it could have. Nobody got harmed. Nobody had to get shot. Nobody had to get tased. It was all good. Yeah, he's most certainly a weapon. Hey, and somebody might want to fight him to get sued. Well, listen, you might want to fight him to get, you might want to fight him to sue. But if you can't use your knee anymore, if you got to be in the wheelchair the rest of your life, it might not be worth it. Whatever money you get, I mean, you gonna pay that back to walk again. But anyway, there we go. That's a Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta Airport. And speaking about UFC fighters, this is how the lawn was transformed for the UFC event. No sound on the video, but you can see what's going on here. He's a loaded gun. He is a weapon and a loaded gun for sure. Now you can see how they changed the White House lawn for the UFC event. Now, of course, there's damage done to the lawn, but it'll be okay. It'd be totally fine. The trees were not removed. They built right around the trees. It was all good. And what they're going to do for the damaged grass is they're going to just do some side and seed. They already got most of the grass repaired, and they already got irrigation. I could do that job by myself. Hey, give me some equipment. Give me a few dump trucks to load the topsoil if it needs it. Tractor, skid steer. Yeah, I knock it on out. Give me a few 100 pounds, 1,000 pounds of seed, some compost, turn the irrigation on. It'll be back new like yesterday. It will be. All right. So yeah, shout out to the line. But they already got that fixed though. I think they got to deal with one of these lawn companies. I forget, was it True Green or something like that? They already got to do with them for like $1 million to replace whatever was damaged. And it's grass, it'll grow back. It's okay. Now we got a flyover on a national mall above DC. This is on the 25th. What was that? Thursday. And you have 8 jets. You got Drago 5152 and F-35s. Okay, let's check it out. Hey, imagine seeing something like that just above your head. If you guys have not been to an air show, please go. You might not see these, but you will see some nice things at the air show. And the sound, they're loud too. They're very loud in person. So yeah, shout out to those. And we got some more of the flyover. This is going to be two B-52 Strato Fortresses alongside the F-15 Eagle, F-A-18 Super Hornet, and F-35C Lightning II. Okay, let's get some sound here. And look at some video too. How about that? Now that is beautiful. Hold on. Let me get the underview. Imagine seeing that above your head, and they fly low. They pretty low. To be able to see it like that, that's not super high in the sky. Let me start from the top so you get the whole thing. All right, there we go. So yeah, these flyovers, I love them. I love the planes. I love the flyovers, planes, jets, all of that. I love them. Okay, now I got a little bit more time here. Let's show some of the World Cup stuff. I'll show some of the World Cup stuff, then I'll keep on rocking. Now, this is going to be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta. And somebody put an ice, like figure, a little, I don't know what you would call that, like some kind of sculpture. And you get fans from Spain posing in front of it. You see my man right here with the Lamine Yamal jersey on. And by the way, Lamine Yamal, Spain, the team was here in Chattanooga. They trained here in Chattanooga, and then they went to Atlanta to play their matches. In other parts of the country, I suppose, as well. But check it out. So you see, you got the ice with the, you got the helmet, and he's an angry white guy or something like that. And look, the Spanish fans are posing with it. Okay, what I say right there? Vamos a España. Go Spain. So yeah, I was down there Sunday, right in this area, and the vibes were great. Everybody was nice. Everybody was pretty much like that. You see how they posing, and everybody's just smiling, having a good time. Everybody was like that. Okay, you see my man right here. Hold on, he has on the Saudi flag. See right there. I think he has on the Saudi. Everybody was cool. The Qatari fans, the Spanish fans, the Haitian, the Cabo Verde, Cape Verde, all of them were super cool, super nice. All right, let's keep going here. Now, this is going to be inside the stadium, and they're being asked by the nice young lady their thoughts about the stadium so far.
What do you think about Mercedes-Benz Stadium?
Oh, it's beautiful, one of a kind, indoor, 72 degrees AC. First time here, it's awesome.
10 out of 10, super impressed. Like climate controlled, affordable prices.
$3 for pizza, $2 for water. Yeah, you can't beat the prices. To be honest, it's one of the greatest stadium I've ever been.
It's awesome. It's mind-blowing. And the most important is really cold inside and chill. It's hot. It's been hot and humid the whole day long. So we are happy to be inside. It is very nice over here. We love it. Thank you.
Gorgeous. Just simply gorgeous. I'm loving it. I think it's a perfect place for it, and it's air conditioned.
The stadium is great. Like I think it was one of the biggest in the United States. So I'm happy to be here. The structure of this place it's out of this world. Just the engineering of it part, it's beautiful. Yeah.
What do you think about Mercedes-Benz Stadium?
The stadium is very nice. If you've not been to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium downtown Atlanta, or they call it the Atlanta Stadium, if you've not been, you got to go. Whether it be for a Falcons game or something, you got to go to the stadium. It's really state of the art. But it's like $1 billion or something on it. Yeah, in the downtown area, the whole downtown is nice. They just got that Cosm out there, that theater. If you guys not been to the Cosm Theater, you got to go. I'm going to see The Matrix. I might see Harry Potter too, but it's like the Dome in Vegas, but on a smaller. You got it. I can't even describe. You got to see it. You really got to see it. But yeah, shout out to Mercedes-Benz, and we have other World Cup travelers visiting America and falling in love. They love the AC. They love our food. The Texas barbecue, ranch dressing, all these things they really enjoy. And I like that they were able to come down here and experience it rather than just listen to what they say on the news out there in their part of the world, because they're getting propaganda, straight up fake information. So to come here and see it, that is what needs to happen.
Four-wheeling through the muck of South Central Texas. Drew Haas invited two couples from Poland and France to his 30-acre spread for a 2-day taste of Texas.
I want to show them my Texas and get them to experience that, because I wanted to open the world up to my home. My soul's been lit on fire.
Your soul's been lit on fire?
Been lit on fire just seeing all these people enjoy themselves here.
Let's do some cowboy stuff. David Mazur and Martina Bijinska live in Silesia, southwestern Poland.
And you're going to go out, and then you're going to grab my hand right here.
Haas taught them to dance the two-step.
I would say it's all new to us. My dad grew up watching like John Wayne westerns. You just want to see it for yourself.
I was a bit skeptical about it, but then I just feel like, yes, I can do this all day.
Haas also took them to Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
This one has 98 pumps and aisles of Americana. Think about it. They were smitten by a mega gas station.
This is the America that I want to live in. This is the America that I know it can be.
Turns out America is her own best ambassador.
We really love this lifestyle. We enjoy every second of it. We just want to like soak it in.
All right, yeah, shout out to them having a good old time in the USA. And shout out to her as well. Muscle Mommy, I'm with it. I like it. Yeah, shout out to them. Anyway, let's keep on going here. I got a little bit of time before I get to the calls. Do I have anything else I wanted to show? Let me see. I think I might have one more. Do I have one more? Chappelle. I'm gonna show Chappelle talking about AI. He says, there's no need to think anymore. Thinking is for poor people. That's what he says. I'm not saying that's correct, because I enjoy thinking still. But once we hear what he says, it might make sense. Let's check him out. And Chappelle, I saw your latest comedy special on Netflix. I can't say I was a fan. I'm a fan of Chappelle as far as his entire career accomplishments. The Chappelle Show and some of his specials have been great. But the last one, it was like, okay, I think they said it in the roast of Kevin Hart. The guy Naeem, he was like, okay, I saw your special, but a joke would have been nice. I'm getting an hour and a half speech with no jokes. But anyway, let's watch this.
You know, it's funny. Okay, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and we were laughing about how no one really would know what to teach a kid now. What skill sets are going to matter 10 or 20 years from now as the world becomes automated and everything is just changing. So we decided that your character is your destiny. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, if you're a good person, that's pretty much all you can ask from anybody, and hope for the best. I don't know if anyone needs to think anymore.
What do you mean by that? The machines are doing all the work for
It's AI, it's quantum computing. It just seems like thinking is for poor people. It's a joke, by the way. I forgot where I was. but it's true. It's just like who's, you know, no one reads books anymore. It's just so different from when I grew up. You know, it's funny. Okay.
I mean, he's got a point. He's got a point. Now, I would not rely on AI at all for anything. For simple tasks, perhaps, but not to think for me. I also do a thinking myself, but I know that was a joke. I understand. But once you get further into AI, once you get into quantum physics, quantum computing, all that kind of stuff, it's going to be beyond us. And at that point, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I think it's going to be kind of the great unknown. You know, that'd be the great unknown. Now, I hope and pray it won't be the Matrix coming to life, but that was a movie. Who knows what's going to happen when we get to a certain point in AI where it exceeds our intelligence. Maybe it's already right there because, again, we got AI for the first time publicly. What was that, in 2022? It's not even been the full 4 years yet. It's almost at the 4-year mark, I suppose, right around 4 years since we've had it. And since then, they said like 1/3 of all websites are AI generated. Ever since just 4 years, that happened. So imagine what is available that we have not had access to yet, that our government has had access to. What do they know that we don't know? They could be far ahead of us, and they could use AI in ways that we can't even comprehend. So who knows? All that I do know right now is that a lot of this AI stuff is getting out of hand. People are using it too much, and they rely upon it, and that will diminish their own thinking skills. If you use AI for everything and you don't do any thinking on your own, I'm seeing the effects of it right now. People are becoming dumber. I'm seeing idiocracy set in. People cannot read at all. Basic things they can't read. You guys have seen these videos where they say read the index card, and it doesn't matter what the race is, black, white, Puerto Rican, the candy stripe, they're having a hard time reading. Now, I will say this though, a lot of your foreign people have a better time at reading than some of your native people, unfortunately. And that's why they want the immigrants to come in, because they are seen as superior to us when it comes to thinking and working. But the problem is that they bring other issues with them. They bring other cultural norms that don't align with us, some criminal element and just nuisance elements. And also they're given money by the government. They're paid to be over here. They're subsidized. They get benefits that we don't get. So that's kind of, they can say that they are better and they're smarter, but are they really, or are they just funded? Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's get to some super chats and me get to the calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. Let me check out what's happening here. Thanks to Mauricio. Mauricio says, poll, Texas versus Georgia Heat A. Which one is worse, Texas or Georgia? Now, when you're talking about Texas, what are we talking about exactly? We're talking about Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, El Paso, Amarillo. What are we talking about? It's a big place. It's a big place. But I'm going to go for Georgia. I don't know. Texas is different. It's you getting into the desert a little bit. It's a different heat. But it's similar to Georgia, I would say. If you're in Dallas or Houston or something like that, it's similar to Georgia. When you go out far west, it's like being in New Mexico or Arizona. Thank you to Eternal Spring for the good job emoji. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to Eternal Spring as well for the dancing, celebrating emoji. And thank you to Dolores, who says, how many grandchildren do you have? I have no children. So I don't have any grandchildren either. I'm just a guy out here trying to do the Lord's work to the best of my ability. All right. Exactly, Forte X, like an ant talking about a dragonfly. Exactly. That'd be a level of understanding. You're talking about AI. I guess that was reference to that. You have no idea what's going on. No clue. So I'm a guy that's comfortable saying that I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. All I can do is what I know to do. And if I don't know something, I try to learn it. But if it's beyond my comprehension, then what am I to do? I try my best to learn and know as much as possible. Brickyard says Midland, Texas is a dry heat. Yeah, I figured that. Carolyn says Georgia was way hotter than I expected. It's very hot. Again, the sun is right here on top of your face. You have no reprieve. No, you have nowhere to escape. But again, a number to call 706-406-3287. What's going on, Hobble? I'll see you right now, boss. I didn't see your comment before. I'm seeing your first comment just right now. All right, let me see. Follow money come to literacy. Oh, okay. Well, no, a lot of these kids grew up during COVID, and that was not the best time for education. That was not the best time for education. You got kids that are not going to school. They're basically in front of their laptop. I mean, I can't say that's probably not the best way to learn as a child. You know, just be in front of a screen. You need to have hands-on learning from a human being, in my humble opinion. Yeah, like we never had any of that at all. There was never any kind of devices in the classroom until I got to be like high school. And then we had like a computer class where you're at a desktop on the computer, learning something that's about the computer, learning how to type, keyboard, or something like that. But beyond that, we didn't have any devices in class. There was no cell phone, iPad, laptops, nothing. None of that was ever in class. But now that seems to be the norm. And it was most certainly the norm during COVID. And then you lack socialization plus the in-person learning, depending upon where you were. You're talking about years. Now, luckily over here in Tennessee, it wasn't that long. But if you're living in West Coast, California, it could have been 2 or 3 years where you were just doing the virtual learning. And that's going to have an impact on you. That's going to be a big impact. And you doing everything on your device, you got spell check. All of that will help you with your spelling. Back in my day, if you didn't spell something right, then you got it wrong on your actual paper. There was no way to spell check. You had, of course, later you had word processing if you got research papers. But if you're doing something right there in class and you spelled it wrong, well, you got marked wrong right there. Thank you to J-Man for gifting the ABL membership. I appreciate you for that. Okay. Thank you to A Righteous Perspective who says, what's up with you, twin? Folks didn't think we're related. Love your channel, brother. God bless. Hey, man, you never know. You never know, man. But I get that a lot too, man. Because we got them West African descendant faces. Y'all know, you know how that go. Every time I go somewhere, it depends on how I look on that day. If I got a clean shave, I look like a dark-skinned black guy with a clean shave. If I got the beard, I look like a dark-skinned black guy with a beard, a gray beard. Okay. When I'm shaved, I'm Dave Chappelle. When I'm beard, I'm Billy Ocean. When I was young, I was like Morris Chestnut, Jaded Kiss, anybody like that. I look like that's who I was. So shout out to you though, bro. And thank you to Fafa. I ain't gonna try to pronounce the rest of your name for your donation. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. But yeah, hey, I was on Marta when I went to the World Cup stuff. And I saw a guy, I was like, is that me in the future? I had on burgundy shirt like this. You know how I dress, my burgundy polo. He on the burgundy shirt. It's like, am I time traveling? Is that me in the future? Look just like me. Just an older version of me. It was All right. Hey, Tote says, it surprises me how many young people can't read. It's very surprising how many young people cannot read of all races. It's not a race thing. It's black, white, Puerto Rican, and candy stripe. It's just young people. They can't read. I'm talking about the most basic of things. Can I find one of these videos right quick to show you guys since I don't have any calls? I'm gonna show you guys one of these videos that I had. I meant to upload it to my Twitter, but I guess I couldn't download it for some reason. Let me see if I can pull it up right for you guys right quick. And thank you guys again for being here. I appreciate y'all. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is going to be Seth J. Trotter. Shout out to Seth J. Trotter for this video. Okay. So read the index card. Now I'm going to read it and then they're going to try to read it. The climatologists analyze atmospheric variability using sophisticated computational models. What does that mean? The weatherman analyzed the weather. Okay, the weatherman got the weather from the models and told you the weather. Weatherman said, hey, here's some models. I'm going to look at it. Okay, boom. Now we got the forecast. Let go. Let's see what they come up with, shall we?
What the?
Read this in this card.
The climatologist. Analyze atmosphere variety.
It's funny, but it's not funny. This is what was happening when I was like real young with some kids. Like you're like 7, 8, 9 years old when you got to sound it out. Remember to sound it out? Y'all know if you're my age, that was a thing. If you get stuck on the word, sound it out. If you couldn't pronounce climatologist, climatologist, and you learn what the word means to be able to understand in context. Climateologist, like meteorologist. You're studying the climate. Climatologist. They can't get past that basic word.
Is that a V?
Variability.
Variability.
Using
sophisticated. Computational.
Sound it out. Sound it out.
Computational. Models.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's rough. That's really, really rough. I mean, good grief. That's not really a complicated sentence to read. That's like really what level is that of reading? Like 9th grade, maybe earlier than that. I'm not sure what level of reading that is, but that's most certainly not college level at all. That's definitely grade school. That's K through 12. If you're an adult and you can't read that, hey, you might have to be saved with technology. If not for that, then what are you going to do? What can you do? Yeah, they know models. They know things that they want to, I've seen quite a few of these. They get the word event, right? Because they go to a party and they can read a flyer. Okay, you got to come to this event. It's a hot event. You're going to have Drake. We're going to have bottles at the event. They can read things that they're interested in, but things that they don't really think about often, they have a limited vocabulary. They only know a handful of words. They know what they use on a daily basis, and they might not even know how to actually spell that, but they know how to say it. Ask AI, exactly. 10th grade reading level, I think that's about right. Yeah. J-Man says, I can drink and read. That's just me, though. Hey. Wonder if the schools teach this way or if youth just don't want to listen. I can't tell. I know it all, nothing. Little shout out to you, little. I'll try to read your name, little sis. But I think what's happening is they're not being taught. They're not being taught. I mean, I feel like that's the only way you're going to be able to learn is if you get taught. If you're not being taught anything, then how are you going to learn anything? I don't really understand. But hey, thank God for AI, right? Hopefully the AI can save them. Thank you to Andrew who says Zennials were the last generation, pardon me, to learn to read from an actual physical book. Well, there you have it. That explains it. 501, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, that's Robert.
All right, man. What's happening?
Not too much. I was able to actually watch the show. I wasn't doing too much schoolwork or anything like that. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that you got all these kids that can't read because they aren't sophisticated.
Yeah,
But
it's a mess. But go ahead.
but yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then it's like they want to go to college, but it's like there's so much, I guess, AI, in college now that I guess and a lot of kids can get through it, but there are still some teachers that make them do written tests. So, I mean, it's not like every class that you get to is going to be simple. Because I had, for my minor in criminal justice, there was a girl in the class. The class was easy. All you had to do is literally, if you looked at the notes that he gave you and, you studied a couple times or whatnot, and you did all the homework that he gave, you get an A. It was an easy A. And I'm not even sure she passed it. I know she ended up dropping out of college because I don't think she was able to make good grades. Like she missed the test, and she was supposed to get with the instructor about when she's going to do the makeup, and she waited till literally the last day to go talk to him about doing the makeup. And he was like, "Yeah, you should have been here, this week, not Friday." So I guess he ended up helping her, but I don't know. I mean, these kids, they don't really care about learning. They care about TikTok and making, these stupid little videos and doing stuff that doesn't really matter. Like, yeah, some people will make a lot of money for doing TikTok and Facebook and, being on these different social media platforms, but the chance of everybody, doing it and breaking out is, I mean, I don't know the odds, but I know it's pretty high. Maybe 1 in a million. I don't know.
Yeah, it's up there. They're not really focused on getting skills. They're focusing on doing the thing that seems like it's easy. They're on their phone. They're watching the influencer and say, okay, I'm going to just do that. But where's the actual skill at that you can do beyond that?
Yeah. Now, I heard you talking about like a lot of temperatures or whatnot. Like I went to Iraq back in 08, 09. Like I was a individual augmentee Navy. We went over there to help out the Army. So when we got to Kuwait, there was I never forget this. The actual temperature was 149 degrees, and this was in the afternoon around like 6-7 o'clock at night.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, if you're living in a place like that and there's no kind of air conditioning and no kind of keep you cool, it's impossible to live.
Yeah. No, like when you're saying that Iraq was 100, no, it's way hotter than that. It's way hotter.
That's
but
crazy.
The only good thing about it is the dry heat. So it's not like you're living in a hot, humid place. Because I'm in Texas, but yeah, you keep talking about the western part of Texas. I live down south, like, because you know how long the bottom part is, like when you get to South Padre Island and all that stuff, when they talk about that. So I'm like literally almost by the border. So we're way more south than even California. So it's extremely hot down here. It's not total desert, but we don't have like a whole bunch of big trees or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, and then you talked about the Venezuelan earthquake. Like I was stationed in Japan. I love Japan. But I was there during the big earthquake they had in, I think it was 2011, and like everything in Japan is made for earthquakes and hurricanes. So it's the structures there are made for high winds and ground shaking. So like in Venezuela, you know, a 7.5 earthquake, we like after, you know, the main shocks that we had, because they were like, I want to say they were 9.2 or 9.5 on the Richter scale when it happened. Everything was shaking. Yeah, it was because we've had earthquakes before that, and it was pretty bad. But it was like, you know, we could it was like whatever, because they were like 6s and 7s. They were like whatever. And so after the big earthquake and the subsequent tsunami and all that other stuff that happened, for about 2 months, we ended up having aftershocks of 6.5 up to like 7. And it became so commonplace. I would be in bed and you would have an earthquake and it'd be like, oh, the bed is rocking, the whole house is rocking. I'm just laying there. I'm like, oh, it's an earthquake. And just roll over and keep sleeping.
Wow.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to talk about. Hopefully, get done with the school because I'm tired of going to school.
I hear you on that for sure.
Yeah. Well, you have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. And shout out to you guys again for rocking and rolling. Let's go to 859. Your line was speaker to.
All right, I've got ABL. I'm right in the middle of driving, working, and living, man. What's up with you, brother? I've been watching the show and enjoying it, man.
Thank you, man. Everything's going good. How about yourself?
Hey, no problem, brother. I called up last week saying, hey, taking that mistake of just trying to go into war, boots on the ground, and I feel like it was a big failure. And that's the thing is that they were encouraging a lot of the violence, man. A lot of the Israelis, unfortunately, and him pulling out was a good idea. I support him making the peace treaty to work it out. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it is what it is. Hey, you heard about Oliver Tree passing away from a helicopter, which is kind of weird because a lot of his music videos does describe of him falling.
I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah, a lot of his music videos, Oliver Tree, who passed away recently, had him describing I've seen some of his music videos, and it's weird coincidences. There's a lot of helicopters, a lot of involving machinery, monster trucks and stuff like that. And it's weird that he would die from a helicopter. It's a sad tragedy, but it's weird that a lot of celebrities, weirdly enough, in the future, like Marilyn Monroe, like JFK, weirdly predicted in old interviews of their passing, which was kind of odd. What's your thoughts on that? Of celebrities, hinting at their supposed future, or do you think it's a coincidence?
I mean, I don't know the situation at all, so it could be a coincidence. I have no clue.
All right. Yeah, the famous. It's crazy that he died with a YouTuber, and it was in Brazil. They died from a helicopter accident. I just think that was a weird coincidence of all things that he had music videos describing falling from all types of things, and then he dies that way. Hey, thank you very much for taking my phone call. I got it. It's storming out here. I don't want to get in a huge wreck, brother. Much love to you, brother.
Thanks for the call, man. Thanks for the call.
Hey, very much support. 420 all the way, brother. Bye.
All right, now, since if I are on the road, can be, if it's got storming and stuff like that, you don't want to be wrecking when you're calling me on the phone. I don't want that to happen. You're on the phone, and all of a sudden, I'm hearing just all kind of stuff going on. I don't want that to be the case. So, yeah, shout out to you. But, yeah, that person, do y'all know about that? The celebrity that died? I don't know who that is. Any celebrity under 40 years old, I don't even know. Sometimes I'll be scrolling on my phone and I see TMZ have a story about some celebrities. I don't even know who they are. I have no clue. Yeah, I'm not that tied in. I only know certain celebrities like Sydney Sweeney. I know her a lot. Yeah. Ever since the commercial she had, I'm like, okay, now I know who she is. But beyond that, I don't know. If they're not really political or nothing like that, or if they're not my age, somebody that I may have known when I was younger, I don't even really know. But yeah, RIP to whoever that is. It could be a coincidence or it might not be. I don't know. But yeah, I saw the one young dude, David, that's his name, with the 4 in his name. And that seems to be a pretty open and shut case with that girl. That seems to be pretty open and shut. Obviously he did that, in my humble opinion. All right. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all. Hey, yeah, Sydney Sweeney, I know her. Yes, I do. I sure do. Anybody else? I don't know who that is. Yeah. But streamers are celebrities, depending upon who you are. I think they are. Like Kai Cenat. Hey, Kai Cenat is a celebrity. I Show Speed is a celebrity. I'm not. People, I get recognized sometimes, but I don't think I'm a celebrity. Kai Cenat is a celebrity. Now, there's levels to it, though, because somebody was asking, is I Show Speed on a level of Michael Jackson? It's like Michael Jackson is so far above and beyond anybody as a celebrity. It's not even close. And these streamers don't come anywhere close, but they are a big draw unto themselves. But let's keep on going. What's up to 971 on your line?
Hey, Bill. I just wanted to ask you a quick question about how New York's going to end up falling apart because of this stupid rent pause and stuff.
Okay.
We talked before about how the government tries to step in and make rules about who can increase rent and who can freeze rent and stuff. Do you think it's going to end up turning into one of those things where people just start moving out in waves and New York pretty much falls on its face like in the 90s again?
Well, I think that can be the result, because ultimately, when you're forcing people to not be able to raise their rent, you're going to have fewer of those properties available. Because if it was me, I'm going to sell my property, or I'm not going to rent those units that are rent controlled, because it's going to be a loss for me. So you're going to have fewer of those properties available, fewer of the quote unquote affordable rent properties to choose from. So you're going to go out there to the open market where you're going to have a higher rent. So you're going to have a bigger class divide between the haves and the haves nots. If you have a lot of money, you'll be okay. If you don't have a lot of money, or you don't want to spend an arm and a leg in your firstborn child, you're going to leave. So this means a lot of your rich people are going to leave. A lot of those who are not very rich are going to leave. What are you going to have left? You're going to hollow out the foundation of the city. And ultimately, you're going to have what I think is a managed decline. That's why they have Zohran there to do that. That's why they have the other person in Los Angeles, Nithya Raman, doing the exact same thing when she becomes elected, in my humble opinion.
That's interesting. It's so weird to see it, the greatest city in America, the largest city in America, go through its next fallout, basically, where people just start leaving like Detroit all over again.
Yeah,
and I'm worried that other places are going to start doing the same thing. And the biggest question is, who's paying for this, for these housing complexes? Who's paying for the utility bills? Who's paying for the rent? I mean, the taxpayers are not going to cover all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. At a certain point, I'm not sure who's going to pay for it, because if the landlord decides, you know what, I'm not going to invest here anymore, I'm just going to leave. I mean, the homes may get seized by the city, and then that becomes a taxpayer burden. And of course, when you're talking about things that the government does, they don't do it as well as a private sector at any time in history. They don't do it. So it's going to be a mess.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And in that one video you were showing about a guy saying that eventually the banks are going to take properties, is that the plan, do you think, for them to start handing over properties to the banks so that way the government has full control over the properties?
Well, they've already said they're going to do that. The city itself, they said that they're going to see some of these properties. If they have a property that's in neglect, the city wouldn't take it. They wouldn't put it under the hands of NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority. That's the plan. They already said that. They came on TV and said that. So that's not even a secret.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't know too much about the inner urban lifestyle in New York, but I'm sure there's a lot of places that are entire neighborhoods of just crap holes like Detroit.
Yes, absolutely.
That's sad. I'm hoping that doesn't start making its way over the Mississippi, because I've heard that California's been doing a lot of stuff like that, and some parts of Seattle's been doing that, and it's bad. I hope Oregon doesn't do it next.
I hope not. Hopefully these kind of things stay contained where they are. I would hope that it didn't happen at all. But if it's going to happen, let it be contained where it is rather than spreading.
Yeah. Well, the problem that we already have out here is they're building entire complexes of really cheap apartments that are like maybe $300 or $400 for a 2-bedroom apartment for immigrant workers. And there's people out here that work an arm and a leg and paying $1,400 apart for a studio apartment.
Mm-hmm.
It don't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Well, thank you for taking my call, ABL. It's just always confusing about these new things that go in about the rent issue, and I don't understand what's happening, what this government's doing.
And I'm on the same boat with you, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Hope you have a good weekend.
All right, great call. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, it's crazy. New York City, what they want to do out there, I think, again, managed decline. Los Angeles, New York, same thing. And a lot of what they had in a place like New York, LA, is now coming down south. It's now coming down south. And that's where it's going to be. Down south. Atlanta, Dallas, Austin, Phoenix. Is that a south? I guess it's like Sunbelt. But yeah, a lot in Texas. A lot of your financial sector going to Texas, and it's going to stay down there permanently. It's going to stay down there permanently. That's right, Carolyn. New York City and London were financial centers, but that may no longer be the case. The NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, that's going to Dallas. All of that, the whole thing is moving because they see the writing on the wall. See, one thing about, I think one place to get some really good news from is anything dealing with money. Any financial, respected financial people will give you the real deal with the least amount of spend possible, because they got to be, they have to be right. They got to be factual because it's money on the line. That's their business, is money. So when you see them moving the financial centers, you already know that they know something. And these guys, I would trust their opinion about things like this. Okay. I would trust their opinion about things like this. All right. And since I'm right here, I got a little bit of time. Rest in peace to MacArthur Mall. If you guys from Virginia know about MacArthur Mall, hold on. The era of the shopping mall might have come to an end here. I'm going to just play this for you guys right quick. So I remember this, when this mall first opened, I remember 1999. I'm in high school. I might have been 10th grade. So I might have been like, 15? Yeah, 15. When this was first built. It was state of the art when they built it. I'm going to turn the sound down. But now, after 27 years, it's closing permanently. They're going to demolish it in the whole 9 yards. MacArthur Center in downtown Norfolk, Virginia. It was state of the art when they first built it. It was something I've never seen before. It was beautiful. Look at it. It was beautiful when it was first built. It's right in downtown, right across from Waterside. Granby Street is right there. Everything is right there. But now look at it. In its heyday, this was like the place to be. It was a work of art. And now look at it. Because what's happening? In Norfolk, you have the outlets down by like Diamond Springs, all of that, I think. And you also, everybody's online shopping, getting things brought right to their house. There's no longer a need for indoor malls. Indoor malls all over the country are struggling. Now, some indoor malls are still doing really well. Lenox Mall, Atlanta, jumping all the time. Phipps is still doing pretty good as well because of the location. It's right there, Buckhead, super busy area, a lot of stuff going on. But this place right here, MacArthur Mall, I done came down City Hall Ave so many times, banging that right in that garage. So many times. You got light rail right there, all of that. But now they're going to demolish it. I don't know what they're going to do. I think they're going to build, it's talking about building some housing. You know what they could do right here? If they built like a, if you guys ever been to Avalon and Alpharetta, Georgia, like that outdoor kind of strip mall kind of thing, if they did that, it could revitalize it. But going to Bath and Body Works and Foot Locker and the mall, that's dead. Those days are over with. So yeah, RIP MacArthur Mall. It was an amazing mall when it was first built. It was a social place. You could meet girls. It was everything. So yeah, RIP MacArthur Mall. RIP to all the indoor malls that are struggling all over the country. And to those that are still around, hey, I don't know what kind of sauce you got, but shout out to you. Okay, Forte says, malls foster teenage social interaction and capitalism. Yes, absolutely. Because when it came out, I'm 15 years old. I'm in high school. This is 1999. Like, this is before, like, I didn't have a cell phone. There was no cell phone. We had the internet, but there was no cell phone. Internet was like, you had to be at your house. You couldn't bring your internet with you at all. There's no Amazon, no online shopping. None of that was going on at this time. You had to go out to the mall to get anything that you wanted. You want to get a pair of shoes. You want to get an outfit, anything. You had to go to the mall and do it. You want to interact with somebody. You want to meet girls. No dating apps. I'm in high school. You got to go to the place to do it. In school, your friend group, or at the mall. Or you go to the beach. That was our place as well. Yeah. But yeah, RIP to MacArthur. That was definitely a work of art when it was built. State of the art. It was like, seeing that, it was like an amazing thing to see the construction, to see the finished product. And now to see it's gone, it's like, that's crazy. I witnessed the birth and the death of a mall. I'm old. Yeah, shopping malls outgone the way the dinosaur, the way the dodo bird, for sure. Oh yeah, the fresh baked cookies in the mall, the pretzels. Listen, it was a spot in the mall, and it was like, it's a core memory. I remember in my mind, it was not MacArthur, Chesapeake Square Mall or Tower Mall. That's way back. That's a deep cut. If you're not 40 years old, you know Tower Mall is in Virginia, in Portsmouth, Virginia. But the one place they got them cookies, like them cupcakes. It's like a cookie cupcake. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I forget the name of this place, but that's why I'm still a cookie monster to this day, because of those little cookie cupcakes. It's like, imagine being somebody says, hey, smoke this and it's crack, and now you hooked on it. That's the way it was with them cookies. Eat this cookie, and now it's like, now whenever I see a cookie, I got to eat it. But it was some kind of like muffin. I don't know what it was, but it had like filling in it. It was a cookie that was like, it's like a deep dish cookie. It had like some kind of filling in it. The biggest of back thing you can actually eat, but it was so good. Those kind of things are what you would go to the mall for, that experience. Social interaction, get some food, you can go shopping. Yeah, movies, where you can go watch a movie. All of that was right there. That smell, hey, nothing like it. Hit your nostrils. And we used to be in the food court hanging out. You might see your friends in the food court working, and they hook you up with some food. Now I got a Chick-fil-A in the food court, and you got your friend back there working. Give you some free chicken nuggets on the house. Teenagers today would never understand what it was like to be a teenager in the late 90s, early 2000s. But like 1998, 1999, 2000, that era, nothing like it at all. Yeah, Toll House cookies. All right, Salty, you know about Tower Mall, or was it Tower City? I don't know. We're talking about the same thing, but if you know, you know. The Wetzel's pretzels, that's right. The Square Pan Pizza, Orange Julius, Hot Topic. Oh, Hot Topic was my spot. Yeah. Hot Topic, that's where you get them golf girls at, in the Hot Topic. Yeah, for sure. Brickyard, you guys were in 1997. Okay. So I was in my last year, middle school, 1997. So I started high school the next year, 1998. I graduated 02. So I'm like right in your same age group. I'm a little bit younger than you, but right in your same age group. So, you know, like I know how that time was. Lawrence says, I used to work at Steak Escape at Crabtree, Cali Mall, and Raleigh when I was a teenager. Wow, that had to have been an experience. That had to have been an experience. We had a great time growing up, Lindsay. We had a fantastic time, fantastic childhood. You were a full adult back then. Me too. When I got to be like 15, 16, I was basically an adult. Spencer sells some weird stuff. They do. But it was all good. It was all in good fun. In 80s, I can imagine how the 80s were. I can imagine. The 80s were a different time, but the 90s, it was nothing like it. All right, now I'm being all nostalgic. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. I'll be back next Saturday for the live stream. But I'm here all the time putting out content, pre-recorded. You can catch me on YouTube. You can catch me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm everywhere. Catch me everywhere. And the majority of my content will be short form, but I will still put out long form videos. I'm gonna try to get at least one a day. But if I can help me with a long form content, if you have any tips of news I need to cover, please send it to my email, contact@anthonyblogan.com. My email's on the website. Please help me with the topics because sometimes I don't have anything or it might not be enough for a full video. But if you guys have a tip that you want me to cover, please send me some stuff. I do read your emails. Please don't spam me. Don't send me like 10 emails a day. But if you have a tip, please send it to me. I appreciate it. Even if I don't respond, I do read it. All right. Now, shout out to you, Ralph. I don't care what YouTubers say. YouTubers can say whatever they want to say. I'm not interested in beefing with YouTubers. I'm a full 40-something-year-old man. I don't do that. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Thank you to, and before I read the last super chat, shout out to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chat, and whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mouse for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. I will see you guys on the next stream. Saturday will be the next stream. Most likely, that's going to be Independence Day. We'll see what's going on. If they have that USA 240 event, I'm going to try to stream that. I'm going to see what's going on with that. We'll see. But that is Independence Day. It's going to be a lot going on, so we'll see. I'll let you guys know, like, midweek what's happening with that. But yeah, shout out to you guys. Again, if you're not subscribed, please do so. Like the video on your way out. And thank you to our Black Pearl who says, my birthday is Tuesday, 6/30. Happy early birthday, sir. Happy birthday in advance. But my birthday is Tuesday, 6/30. Growing up in the 60s, our parents, uncles, and aunts and neighbors didn't allow their children to be dumb. We had to be smart. They checked our homework every day to be correct. Same here. Yeah, my mom checked my report card, making sure everything was good, making sure I'm doing the right thing. Now, I was always a good student. Getting A's for me was nothing. I was always like kind of like a little bit bored sometimes, but you got to make sure that your kids are doing the right thing, that they're on the right path, that they got the right level of knowledge. You got to make sure of that because what can happen is they can grow up to be 22 years old out there outside of a bar being asked to read an index card and they can't read it. You're talking about 9th grade reading level, 10th grade reading level at best. At the most, a 10th grade reading level, they are 20-something years old and can't read it. That's embarrassing. That's totally embarrassing. But I'm glad that that's not me. Shout out to my parents, my grandparents, my aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody that instilled in me, hey, ABL, you got to know how to read. You got to be smart. You got to be educated. Don't be out here being a moron and getting yourself locked up. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got. Shout out to you guys. I will see y'all next time. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.